Chapter 161, Refining and Refining. Chapter 161 Refining and Chemicalizing, Blood Sky. My demon. Damn, these people are really damn, not coming late, but at this time. I have only collected 200,000 days of demon, far from 8 million. Quote. Originally thought to be able to quietly absorb the countless demon in the flesh and mud, but it seems that God and Fang Han cannot go. Actually there is a big thing that the devil is chased by the people of Shandao. Flesh and Mud said that it is not small, but it is not big. It is a small star outside the domain. It is equivalent to a country in the secular. Ordinary people may feel that they are boundless, but for those who have magical powers. But it doesn't feel big, especially when it comes to so many supernatural powers. It feels that there is a powerful mana between the heavens and the earth. It seems that the whole world will be destroyed. Many of the devils in this mana, the disintegration on the spot, so that the cold is very painful. These demons were originally his wealth. If you let him practice quietly here, take the demon, gather 8 million demon, completely motivate the power of the 5 prisons, and if the 999 Grand Squad is all motivated, you can compete with the supernatural powers, the master of Jin Dan realm. In this way, in many dangerous places in the virtual world, he can also explore and find a lot of Fan Yuan to enhance his strength and develop his own power. And the remaining demon can be refined into, by Luo Da Dan, how many precious herbs can be exchanged in Wangguihai? How many hearts can you draw to get to the same door, or to give a disciple? But now, all of them are being spoiled. A huge fortune is lost in vain. Fang Han hated the roots of the teeth, gnashing his teeth, but there is no way, only to speed up the swallowing of the big array, the soul-splitting big array, and the power of the big array, as much as possible to absorb some of the demon. Bold Devil, N-O, Vel, B-J-N.C, Om. Just as he swallowed, a bang, golden light flashed, a Taoist wearing a gossip purple gold robe, flew to the top of the 5 prisons, and the palm of his hand was a thunder, and it was directly bombed on Wang Ding. Dr. Wang Ding was violently shaken, blocking the behavior of Fang Hanbing to swallow the demon. It turned out to be a disciple. I am a disciple of the feathers. Here, I will demonize the demon and drop the demon. How do you frame me as the devil? Fang Hanmeng flew out and looked at the Taoist, shouting loudly. This Taoist, wearing a gossip purple gold robe, is a true biography of Taiyaman. Only this one, there is no semicolon, and Fang Han certainly recognizes it. The Raytheon of the Taoist, he can completely counterattack back, but at this sensitive time, he did not want to cause trouble, so he suffered a blow. Oh, feathered disciple. This Taoist man looked at Fang Han and his eyes, but his eyes were fixed on the 5 prison king tripods. The greedy eyes flashed past and did not hide, but he did not even shoot again. Dao, I am a true disciple of Tai. Fu Shou is a real person. Since you are a disciple of Shandao, why use a magic weapon? Tai has a door rule that is too big. I have a door rule for the feather door. Fang Han heard this, Fu Shou real person, self-registration number, and he was in the heart. Since it is called real person, it must be a supernatural power. The master of humanity is not the same. Hey, you are the master of the door of Wawa, Wa Tiandu, have begun to develop new rules, rectify the immortal, and ban the use of magic devices by the disciples of Shandao. Don't you know? Fu Shou lived with a cold voice, eyes faint, I don't know. What, too, a disciple has a common feature, that is, the tone of speech is always high, representing heaven. Unconsciously, I feel pressure, as if I am an ordinary person, the other is a government. This is not a deliberate attempt, but an innate temperament. Fang Hengsen secretly screams, knowing that this is a kind of heart pressure, even if the Taoism is the same, the master of the same mana realm, the disciples who meet Tai will also shrink their hands. It is as if it is a secular, the great master of martial arts is also afraid of the government. Names. Orthodox. Suddenly, these 4 words emerged from Fang Han's mind, and it was also an invisible mental pressure. Fu Shou real people, are you chasing the devil, or are you interrogating me? Huatian is Huatiandu, Yu Huaman is the feather door. He has to formulate new rules, and he has to wait until he becomes a supreme master. The party is cold and cold. I am your predecessor, I am reminding you that the disciples of Shandao should be upright. The use of magic devices is not a decent thing after all, just to discredit the martial art. Fu Shou real face expressionless. And, again in the past 3 years, it is the group of fairy tales at the 10th gate of Shandao. At that time, the 10th gate of Shandao will select outstanding elite disciples and become a joint law enforcement disciple, specializing in disposing disciples of violations of various factions and the wind of Zhengxiandao. You are now converging, avoiding I regret it when I get it. This, you don't need Fusho real people to remind you. Fang Han haha smiled. You really want to chase the devil handsome, do not delay the business. At this moment, the golden light in the sky has already gone. The heavenly demon does not know where to go. Some of the demons have been shaken. Some of the devils have been collected by some of the immortals, and some of them are scattered. Escape, drilled into the depths of the flesh and blood, and never showed up again. I am too promulgated by the Tiandao killing order, chasing the devil. You are a member of the immortal, and you are obliged to demonize the demon. Fusho real people look at Fang Han, then look at the golden light away from the horizon, know what you are thinking. Of course, chasing the devil, I naturally do not let. Fang Han should bear. Oh, this is the next turn to Fusho real people was taken aback. He originally thought that Fang Han would not agree, but did not expect Fang Hanlian to consider it, and promised so refreshingly, if that's the case, then let's go. Good. Fang Hanfei entered Wang Ding, urging him, and slowly followed behind, Fusho real man. Fusho real people did not pay attention, flying forward, flying faster and faster, but Fang Han can always keep up. Fang Han, chasing the devil, it's not a small thing, we don't have to participate in these things. Long Hao quietly said in Dingzong, Taiyuan are very strong and overbearing, maybe you will be the first bird, and Fang Qingshe we have a deep relationship with the devil, and we really can't participate in it and give it a handle. It doesn't matter, if I don't agree with this person, he will definitely find another trouble. Besides, whoever takes the lead is a bird, it is not necessarily true. This time chasing the magician is so big, it doesn't look like it. With our current strength, self-protection is still easy. Moreover, I took this opportunity to refine the magic knife and blood, perhaps in the pursuit of the devil, can take up a lot of cheap, for my feather door I have a long face. We're famous, and we'll focus on cultivating the door. Between Fang Han's words, the blinking eyes seem to count a lot of things. He also wants to see the big scene, fame, used to fight against Watiandu. Do not do one or two earth-shattering things, there is no prestige in the martial art, how can it counterbalance Huatian? As long as the prestige is established, and then the power of the martial art is transformed into an organization like the Indigo Society, Huatian will reform the sect and will encounter great resistance. The magic knife is bloody, you are more powerful, but it is just a magic weapon, so fast, so that even the spirit is lost. In the flight between the Fusho real people, Fang Han has divided a part of the spirit, and the suppression is suppressed. Wang Ding's magic knife in a large array of blood. He has always lacked a flying sword. Now this magic knife is suitable for him to use. He has a knife in hand, and the ghosts and gods do not stay. The power is enormous. As long as the refining, the lethality will increase tenfold, which is comparable to his half-hanger. The surgery is much more powerful. Oh, although the magic knife, Blood Sky, has been suppressed, but still fierce, murderous, unconstrained by people, encountering the idea of Fang Han, unwilling to fluctuate, blood burst. Hey, a knives, it's so fierce, it's never seen before, but the more powerful, the more I like it. Fang Han used the Wood Emperor, smashed into the magic knife body, and the devil the blood of the knife is fighting. The King of Blood Knight, the King of Blood Knight, the King of Blood Knight. The magic knife, Blood Sky, issued a fierce, awkward roar, and at the same time a fierce spirit rushed into his mind with the suffocation of Fang Han, while at the same time Fang Han's mind appeared. A blood shadow, behind the two large blood wings, countless blood suffocating, blocking the mouth and nose of Fang Han. For a moment, Fang Han seems to have fallen into the sea of blood. This is the magical blood of the magic knife. It is called the King of Blood Knight. But it has not really grown up. It is far from being so wise and powerful. But at this time, it is stunned to be dying. Fang Han knows that there is a blood shadow with wings in his mind. It is the projection of the magic knife, Blood Scorpion, launching a counterattack, affecting his own spirit, and even forcing himself to fall, but this is also the end of the strong. Huangquan Sheng Shui, a light drink, Fang Han transferred the magic knife to the Huangquan River in the picture of Huangquan. A lot of forgotten water wrapped the magic knife, Blood Sky. Suddenly, the magic shadow in his mind suddenly faded a lot. This magic knife the devil has given a painful roar. Can you resist the erosion of the water? Fang Han smiled lightly, his own wooden emperor rushed into it and began to control the magic knife. There is only one magical array in this ***** knife, not as many as 999. However, this magical array is intricate and complicated. It is actually made up of many small arrays. Each small array, like the various organs of the human body, is suspected of growing up. This huge magic array will change shape, become a horrible existence. In that way, the magic knife, Blood Sky, will become a Tao. But now, this huge magical array is gradually being mastered by Fang Han. Between his resentment, this magic knife, Blood Scorpion, was completely refining by him, changed into a **** light, flew into his hands, flickering, like a **** lightning. Chapter 162, Promote Achievements. Chapter 162 promotes merits. Good knife, Bloody Sky, good and powerful demon. The power of even the scorpion does not seem so powerful. The magic knife, Blood Scorpion, is in the hands. Fang Han feels the powerful demon roar, call oh, even myself seems to be contaminated with a bloodthirsty emotion. The magical spirit of the magic knife, Blood Scorpion, seems to fly out at any time to drink the blood, all the time is shaking, to spend the strength of the boss can be suppressed. This is like a fierce tiger, double-edged sword, injury at the same time, people must hurt themselves. Feeling the incitement of the Blood Sky demon, Fang Han knows, it is no wonder that the Seven Knights monster is not willing to use this magic knife. Because it is used too much, one is not good, it will be affected by the bloodthirsty mind. But now it falls into his hands, but there is nothing to hinder, because he has the tree of the world, always picking up the aura of the celestial world, supplementing his mana, without spending mana, the incitement of the magic knife, the suppression as it is. The magic knife can't consume him either. With a knife in hand, Fang Han's confidence has doubled. The destructive power of this magic knife is not covered, and the quality is still above the 5 prison kings. Although there is no Wong Ding function, but killing people and goods, fighting for strength is the most suitable. There is finally a weapon for pickpockets. Playing with the magic knife, Blood Sky, Fang Han looked at the Fusho real man, flying in front, suddenly a heart of evil thoughts, want to take this person to sacrifice a knife. Suddenly sneak attack, murder and more goods, anyway, a disciple of 2-1, he also killed 3, do not care about the 4th, 2-1 door this martial art, although it is the first of the immortal, but always high, making him extremely uncomfortable. Moreover, this Fusho real person is not so colder than the Yu Dian, Sha Yu, and He Burning. Seeing the cultivation of his heaven and earth, he knows that there is a prominent position in Taiyuan and the magic weapon must be indispensable. However, this is just to think about it. At this time, it is impossible to start and kill. Fang Han was not easy to resist his own killing, but also suppressed the magic knife, Blood Scorpion, to bring his bloodthirsty thoughts. Silently following the Fusho real person, does not speak behind. At this time, Fusho real people also felt a bit of magical power. It was decided that Fang Han was cultivating any magic weapon, but he did not know that it was a magic weapon for the murderous evil spirits. I am afraid that I will have other thoughts. This magic weapon is so shocking. I really don't change the magic. Now the disciples of Shandao have become this virtue. Fusho real person, sneered at the corner of his mouth. If this is not the identity of the feathering door, I thought he was a magical person, but he used poison to attack poison, and when he was going to kill the devil, he couldn't help him. Hey, one person, one tripod, fluttering in the flesh and blood of the muddy pool, chasing the golden light in front. About half an hour later, suddenly a change in front. This flesh and blood mire has obviously reached the end, is a deep sky, the stars are densely covered in the sky, still there are some big stone **** hanging from it, just like the battlefield of the devil. Flying up again is space. In extraterrestrial space, it is easy to get lost in it and never find a way home. Fang Han's current cultivation is not easy to get involved. However, at the end of the flesh and blood mire, it is not in extraterrestrial space. There is also a tens of miles in size, dark and deep, and I don't know where to go, but I am sure I am not going back to my original world, because Fang Han knows the returning channel is not the one in front of you. NOVELBJN.C Ohm. Let's go. This is the virtual channel that arrives at Taiyuan Shanfu. It is a heaven and a blessing. The magician wants to break into it, use the immortal law to ban it, and we are circling, and the wishful thinking is well done. Fusho real people saw Fang Han a little hesitant, and said, go. You may encounter fairy tales when you go in. You know, many people have explored Taiyuan Shanfu and they have got the fairy edge. Is it like this, Long Yao? Fang Han asked immediately. Yes, 10,000 years ago, Taiyuan Shanzun opened up a void of his own. Throughout the ages, I don't know how many monks went to find treasures. But among them, the immortal law is very banned, and the masters of the long-lived secrets have suffered big losses. Even caught in it, was strangled by Shanfa. Oh, this Fusho real person is deceiving us ignorance. Taiyuan Shanfu has been exploring for so many years, something valuable outside, has long been excavated, leaving the deepest things inside no one is going in. Long Hao is very familiar with the virtual, reminding Fang Han. So, I understand. Fang Han nodded and made a voice. In this case, Fusho is a real person, let's go in. One person has a trip, and he has gotten into this virtual channel. After a twisted and folded void, the eyes suddenly opened up, and the front view and the fleshy and muddy pool were very different. The fleshy and muddy quagmire is full of rancid swamps, gray mists and fascinating dances, but here is the beautiful scenery, the bright light is shining from the sky, and there is no shadow at all. This is a world of asterisk, it was created in the void, not the kind of stars of flesh and blood. This small world, Fang Han can see that the sky is round, the earth is square, about 1 or 2,000 miles, equivalent to 1 or 2 provinces, the edge of the heavens and the earth, is the void of chaotic color, which is the turbulent turbulence. Everything in the void, the heavens and the earth that was opened up with the force of force, surrounded by violent turbulence, can cut everything into powder. In the center of this small world, there is a palace suspended, which is a bit larger than the feathered tiangong of the Yuhuaman. There are still some small palaces floating around. It seems that the stars are holding the moon. However, the small palaces around seem to be somewhat broken, and it seems that they have suffered many invasions. The things inside were scraped out. Boom. Oh, and when Fang Han came in, he saw a lot of people, beating a terrifying magic. That terrifying magic, like a wolf smoke, skyrocketing, traversing the heavens and the earth, such as the Tianju general standing, in which the figure of the devil handsome should be in it, the left and right to capture, the magic light rolling, the foot white lotus, one layer on the first floor, where to move, where to attack his master will retreat. There are hundreds of people in the siege of the devil, and they are all masters of the magical mystery. Of course, there are some people with a physical body, but they have extremely powerful treasures. These characters all have their own rules and regulations, and they form a large array. The mana is connected together and traps the magical group. The most striking thing is a man dressed in golden clothes, tall and straight, and temperamental. The 9 dragon-shaped golden lights turned around, and they actually resisted most of the offensive of the devil. My embarrassment, it is a master who has become a Taoist Jin Dan, and cultivation has become the 7th most important. At first glance, I was shocked. It is indeed a master, actually able to compete with the devil handsome. The devil handsome is cultivated into the seeds of Jindan. Only Jindan's 7 heavy masters can suppress each other, do not know who this master is. Fang Han has now surrendered the magic knife, blood sky, and in the 5 prisons Wang Ding, gathered more than 200,000 demon, although the realm is a little lower, but it is a little bit eager to move, want to fight with Jin Dan's 7 heavy masters a fight. Don't fight with Jindan's 7 powered masters. These masters are no better than the 7-leaf monarch. You can kill you with magic alone. And there is no unique treasure on this master. Who would believe it? The cold thoughts quickly stopped him from this crazy thought. It put his attention on the distant Yuan Shanfu. You have to fight with the masters of the Jindan class, you must cultivate to the heavens. Good one Yuan Shanfu, 3,000 years old, no one has explored it. When Huang Quan the Great once came here, and did not explore it inside, the prohibition inside is really too powerful. Taiyuan Shanzun, but directly broken the characters who are flying up and rising are high, and the masters of the longevity and secrets are not opponents. It seems that I am very blind to this Taiyuan Shanfu, but I know that I will not go in. These Shanfu, if they can break open, have long been scraped, and they are not able to play the role of Fang Han. Fusho real person, Zhao Xuanyi brother, has already trapped the devil handsome. But the devil handsome has a congenital white bone relic body protection, sooner or later we'll let him rush into Taiyuan Shanfu, we will not go deep into it. At this time, it was a golden light flying, staying in front of the Fusho real person, talking between the two, but staring at the 5 prisons Wang Ding this behemoth. Lu is a real person. This is a disciple of Yuhuaman. Occasionally, he got the best of a magical treasure. Follow me, demon, and deal with the devil. Fusho is human. Oh, this is the 5 prisons that have been lost for a long time, the 5 prisons, all the gods, and later were injured by the elders of my sect, but fell into the hands of the feathers. Looming real people flashing strange light. Well to say, heaven and earth to treasure, there are Germans. I got the 5 prisons, I have already gone back and told the Supreme, just wait for me to cultivate, and I will use the Supreme method. Wang Ding became a Taoist device. It was not a magic treasure, but a fairy Tao. Fang Han flew out from the Ding, watching the 2 real people, too deep. Is it? Lu Ming lived and watched Ding fly out of Fang Han. In this case, we will shoot together and give the devil a slap. Nature is good. Fang Han handed a wave, a ***** flash in the palm of his hand, boundless bloodthirsty murderous atmosphere, the tide generally radiated out, made a real life, Fusho real people suddenly changed face, far away from him. The magic knife is bloody. It's actually a magic knife, how can it be in your hands? The 2 real people were shocked. The 7-leaf demon in the fleshy mud pool, the son of the 9 yellow demon god, has been killed by me. The handheld magic weapon he holds, the magic knife ***** sky naturally falls into my hands, how? The achievements of the devil, you are a real person, you can see it. Fang Han has raised enough of the gas, and almost used the Tianlong octave to make his own, big thing. He does not shoot, deal with the magic handsome. Just in front of everyone, to promote their achievements. Chapter 163, Deaf. Chapter 163 Deaf. It's really a magical weapon in the legend. The magic knife is bloody. It actually fell into the hands of this little feathered disciple. This person can't be underestimated. You see no, his magic weapon, called the 5 prisons, is also the best treasure. The best in the Dan furnace, with this Dan furnace refining medicinal herbs, the practice is smooth. The rumor of the flesh and blood, the 18-day demon king, and a demon is the son of the 9 yellow demon, the 7-leaf demon, many disciples who have come to experience have suffered a big loss, I cannot think of being killed by him. How is he so high in strength? Look at him like that, he is dull, absolutely not refining to the yin and yang environment. The district is the 3rd most powerful, and we have a lot of sacred roads. How could it kill the 7 leaves? Don't underestimate him, although this person has cultivated into awkward circumstances, but the mana is very strong. I don't know what adventures I have, what kind of panacea I have taken. You see the mana fluctuations around his body, I am afraid there are tens of thousands of horses. The power of the Pentium. The general monk, where is there such a strong mana? No matter what, the emergence of the door is another day. 3 years later, the fairy conference, this person is only afraid of you and my enemy. Fang Han showed off the magic knife, blood sky, and promoted himself to kill the 7 leaves monster, the demon slayer's achievements, the current shocked the audience, many of the siege masters are focused on this side. Even including the one that is similar to the magical handsome, the one door, Zhao Xuanyi, who has been repaired as Daomen Jinden has cast his gaze. He is not because of a few words of Fang Han, but the bloodthirsty of the magic knife, blood sky. The boundless killing was passed on to his mind. Zhao Xuanyi, when you play against me, you dare to distract you. The devil was originally surrounded by the crowd, and the conflict was left and right, but he could not break it. He was a powerful person and hosted hundreds of people. It was really powerful. It is good to protect himself. It is a delusion to get out. Of course, there are also people who are besieging him and have not exerted their full strength. They all leave room for self-protection. If all the people fight for life and besieged him, he can't resist it. However, among the masters who besieged him, some are disciples of the other factions. They can fight Taipingquan, and they have to fight for their lives to revenge for Tai. However, the ants are more likely to bite the dead, especially the Zhao Xuanyi masters. The magic handsome is not easy, even the big collapse surgery is not willing to cast, so that the mana is not consumed too much, was taken by the small. If the devil is killed by a small supermaster, then the person who killed him will become famous, not to say anything else, too much reward for one door. This time, because of the dangerous atmosphere of the magic knife, blood scorpion, the people distracted, the magic handsome immediately caught the opportunity, sneer, hands raised, turned out to be 2 great collapses. This time, the great disintegration of the devil handsome is much more powerful than dealing with the Yu Dian, Sha Yu, and Shi Chong. During a move, Fang Han immediately felt that the front was black and the center of the devil was actually formed. A collapsed void, his soul spirit is eager to move, falling to the center of the collapse. Hey! Fang Han quickly transported the martial arts of Muhuangdong, which suppressed the spirit. Oh! The 9 dragon-shaped golden light issued by Zhao Xuanyi collapsed on the spot during the impact of the Great Collapse. Several handheld flying swords, the disciples of the sword array, the flying sword was immediately broken, a few high-quality flying swords, was chopped on the spot into a powder, people also collapsed in the collapse. Fang Han looked at these disciples, and the 1-inch became a powder, and then dispersed with the wind. When it was really turned into fly ash, the heart was shocked. Seeing this scene, the 2 masters of Fusho Real People and Luming Real People glared at Fang Han. They immediately noticed that Fang Han deliberately showed the magic knife blood and helped the devil handsomely or intentionally. This kind of help is not obvious, not due, but savvy people naturally feel it. Okay, very good. I knew that you are not a fairy, and you have entered the magic road. It seems that my vision is not bad. You actually help the devil. Fusho Real Person. Suddenly shot, a golden light entangled to Fang Han, is a flying sword, the speed is very fast, although not as fast as killing asterisk, but close at hand, suddenly shot, the most secretive. And that, Luming Real Person, is also shot at the same time, grab both hands. The 2 groups of Taoist chi cohesed in the palm of their hands, formed a track of sexuality, and then the flow of the wind, turned into 2 large arrays to the square cold pressure. These 2 large arrays, one shaped like a tiger, one shaped like a dragon. The clouds are from the dragon, the wind is from the tiger, the dragon and the tiger meet, and the wind and cloud are discolored. It is the dragon and tiger dynasty of the Luming Zenran. I have cultivated to the master of the heaven and man, and I am sure to have a variety of magical powers. The shot is a large array of blocks, crushed, and thunderous, compared to the 4 fronts of the supernatural powers. The general supernatural monk is dealing with the squadron of the heavenly masters. It is not an opponent. Even if Fang Han has a mana of 50,000 horses, he can beat him if he has a mana of 10,000. The same as the mana of 100 horses, condensed into a large array, and there is no condensation, that is the difference between the sack. It is equal to the difference between elite soldiers and displaced people in the secular. 1 million unorganized bourgeois thieves, encountering 10,000 armed elite, well-trained army, almost instantly collided, can fall apart. The 2 men shot, very sinister, Lu Shengzhenqi, shot, the 2 big array of dragons and tigers asterisk, the target seems to be Fang Han, in fact, it is the magic knife blood and 5 prisons. As long as the 2 pieces of magic are sealed, Fang Han is immediately the shackle. I'm already embarrassed. I don't think these 2 are actually more than me. I am also a true disciple of Yuhuaman. They dare to do it. Fang Han was attacked and he was taken aback. He did not expect these 2. People are so embarrassed, they just secretly help the devil handsome. The relationship between Mo Shuai and Fang Qingshe is very good. He is still a Fang Qingshe person. Besides, the devil handsome can also help himself twice, showing out the magic knife and blood, distracting others' attention, and helping him with no due. Not too much. Besides, too much is too arrogant, weakening their strength, and it is also good for the feather door. Fang Han is thinking for the door. I thought that this little means, even if it was too clear, there was no basis for it, and I wouldn't think of myself, but I didn't think that the disciples of Taiyi's disciples were more embarrassed than they thought, and they relied on their hearts. The identification, without any evidence, dare to kill the true disciple of the Feathering Hall on the spot. The dragon and the tiger fought in a big array, one flew to the magic knife, Blood Sky, directly sealed the magic knife, and the other one was sealed Wang Ding. Fang Han's mind was immediately inducted, and the magic knife was bloody. The 5 prisoners in the king's dynasty lost their senses. Although there is still a spiritual connection, they can remaster the 2 treasures through this spiritual connection. But time is too late. To seal these 2 treasures, you can't do it with the strength of Lu Mingzhen, but as long as you seal a few breaths, it is enough for them to join forces to kill Fang Han. Zhang Guang is flying. Stop your waste. The flying sword of Fusho Real People is a top-quality treasure. It is extremely powerful. Although it is not as good as a ****** knife, it is more than enough to kill a master of the realm of suffocating. However, Fang Han is not an ordinary master. At this critical juncture, his body's pores suddenly spurted out a thick wood emperor to guard the body and harden the sword. The light of the sword is like a broken bamboo. The layer of suffocation was opened, but it was a time of delaying the blink of an eye. Fang Han took the opportunity, screamed, and fled the flying sword. This is the case, but a ceremonial vestment on his body was completely smashed. The situation is sinister to the extreme. November LBJNN. What is this suffocating? The quality is so high. It is not the Tianmu of the feather door. Fusho real people thought that this must succeed. His sword, seemingly careless, is actually doing its best. His sword, called Dazawa's sword, collected the essence of the world's days, the hardware of the English, Dan furnace in the foot of a full set of nails before the release. His cultivation of swordsmanship is also a one-of-a-kind Tianhe. After practicing in the heavens and the human world, there are at least 800 years of life. He is now more than 300 years old. He has a superb sword. He used to be a single sword and killed the veterans of the earthly demon. In the world, I have been appreciative of Tai. The recent Taoism has a faint level of breakthrough to the same level. However, this sword smashed the past and encountered the suffocation of Fang Han. It was greatly hindered, and it was hard to kill it. The other party escaped. He did not know that Fang Han was not the Tianmu asterisk, but the first Qigong of the wood system, the emperor of the emperor, and the suffocating essence of the ancestors of the world tree. Hi, the world is rare. Otherwise, he can't fight against the 7 leaves. You are too a disciple, actually killing people. For the sake of 2 magic weapons in my district, assassinate me. What are your righteous disciples? I want to report to the asterisk of my feathering door. Let your ugly face be announced to the public. Fang Hanyi got out and went out, and his mouth was full of anger. This is the beginning of the rabbit, the thing between the blink of an eye. You, Fusho real people, Lu Ming real people did not expect Fang Han to fight a slap, but they are not fuel-efficient lights, shouted, you help the magic handsome, wolf ambition. Magic road. You fall in front of me, killing people and killing them. I see you are the magic road. Fang Hanyu is bigger than anyone else. There is skill, let's not fight, kill the devil together. See who gets the first. Ah, you still have to do it. It seems that you are eager to kill someone to win the treasure. Fang Han is between the screams, and the emperor's temperament is fully applied. The mental induction has also been added to the maximum, hee. The magic knife blood first broke the seal, jumped out, and the blood flashed, welcoming the day's sword of Fusho real people. The 5 prisoners, Ding, also broke the seal. His sudden roar has long alarmed the audience, and the people who besieged the Devil Handsome have retired, leaving only Zhao Xuanyi, and the Devil Handsome battle originally had a repressive advantage and became evenly divided. 2-1 is really fierce. Actually, the killer is directly. Even if this person secretly helps the devil, in the end is the true disciple of Yuhuaman, killing and killing, is it a master of the door? I don't think it's a secret help to the devil, brighten the magic knife, show off, it is also human nature. 2-1 door is likely to be really framed, so killing people to win the treasure. Some disciples who quit, there are many discussions. Among the people who killed the devil, there were other disciples who played Taiping Quan, and the devils fought, and they retired and could not hurt them. Those who have just died under the great collapse are all disciples who are 2-1, and they do not feel sorry. It is Fang Han and Fusho real people, the battle of the real life of the gods, let their hearts cold. Changchun, generous, Kun Yuan, Khan is away, I am trying to drag the devil handsome, you go to kill the man, be sure to kill. Do not allow him to open the filth. Zhao Xuanyi also heard, hurriedly ordered to attack the devil handsome 4 real people. Hey, the 4 real people also smashed toward Fang Han. Fang Han's face is slightly changed. I feel the pressure is coming. At this moment, a lightning bolt passed from the virtual channel, and it came in. Chapter 164, Support. Chapter 164 to aid. 2-1 of the 6 real people. Generous real people, Kun Yuan real people, Changchun real people, Khan real people, Lu Ming real people, Fusho real people, are famous masters. As early as Ajazi, 100 years ago, they are famous, they are masters of the magical 5-day world. It has a long life, so the future is bright and mature, and there is great hope. Heaven and man have a lifespan of 800 years. If you want to refine it, and the resources of the gates are rich, the exercises are strange, and people often point out that it is not impossible to practice in the realm of Jindan. Therefore, these 6 real people are also the key seeds of the training of one. Their means, even one-on-one, is worse than the troll of the 7-leaf monarch, but it will definitely not be far apart. Fight. If the 6 people add up, the 7 leaves devil will also look down on the wind. Fang Han killed the 7 leaves monarch, that was a lucky attack. If you come again, let Kie know the power of Yan, be wary of defense, and who is the deer, is not known. Now the 6 real people have joined forces to kill Fang Han, and it has caused Fang Han to fall into an extremely dangerous situation. 6 flying swords, first strangled, rotating and cutting, flashing like electricity, to cut Fang Han on the spot. Fang Han felt a strong danger. The magic knife in his hand was suddenly spurred by blood, and turned into a ***** light. He was a 6-sword flying sword. On the spot was a series of gold and iron blasting, and the circle circled and smashed out. Collision, Mars splashing, like a meteor shower. 6 sounds. All 6 flying swords were shaken. Every bite of the flying sword appeared a gap in the size of the rice grain, which was actually bruised by a magic knife. However, Fang Han was also shaken by a strong force on the 6-sword sword in the air. The chest tightness and shortness of breath, the blood gas surged, and the suffocation could not be lifted up, almost fell to the ground. Damn, the blood of the magic knife is the magic weapon. I painstakingly sacrificed the sword of Ajazi, so it was so damaged. It would take me 3 years to go back to recover. I don't know how much treasure to waste. 6 flying swords were damaged at the same time. The 6 real people were so distressed that they thought about killing Fang Han, and they took the magic knife and blood, and went back to the fairy ritual, which added a treasure. After that, I don't know how much between heaven and earth. Happy. Although it is a true disciple of Yuhuaman, but find an excuse, kill and kill. This thing is too much to get down. After the Phagian injury, the 6 masters do not use the flying sword to kill, but master the cohesive suffocation, and at the same time blast a palm. Bang! The sky is falling apart. The 6 large arrays were covered with Fang Han. They were expected to be under the square cold. A piece of vitality could not help. It was inevitable that the dodge was difficult. This shot was a serial killing, and the top, bottom, left and right sides were all covered. Live, let Fang Han escape, no escape, avoiding inevitable. They know that Fang Han can't be returned to the 5 prisons, otherwise it will be difficult to arrest him. The next disciple is unfortunate. Abominable, the magic knife is bloody, and the 5 prisons, Wang Ding, and so on, are in the hands of Taiyuan. Tai has become more and more powerful in these years. It is rumored that after 3 years of the Shandao conference, they will set up a team of immortal law enforcement officers, who can punish all the disciples of the various factions. According to his set of rules, this will continue. Do we have to mix? Seeing this scene, many other disciples have raised a sense of sorrow and anger. It's really too one thing to do. It's too strong. A true disciple of a fairy tale, killing and killing, where is it chilling? Of. However, they know that at this moment, Fang Han is dead, and no one can save him. The tree of the world. Filled up. At this critical juncture, Fang Han spurred the tree of the world of the eyebrows. The powerful spirit poured down, and gave him plenty of energy. He sighed with anger, and his mind filled with mana, the body shuttled, and the squid war. The waves shimmered, and even before the 6 big rounds, they fled and went out. The whole person stood on the mouth of the 5 prisoners, and did not sink. Wang Dingzong rushed out of the red light and wrapped him. It looks as stable as a mountain. The tree of the world is absorbing the aura of the fairy world all the time, making his mana not in danger of getting it. Good means. This makes him escape. He clearly has a bad mana. But he suddenly recovered. Seeing this scene, other disciples were shocked. I actually let him escape, how can he escape? The 6 real people are also shocked, but they are willing to let go, look at it, *** screaming. The 6 large arrays were connected together and changed again. They turned into a hexagonal giant array method, and they overwhelmed the seals of Wang Ding. It is obviously a way of joining forces and practicing. This is a big squad. It was originally a 6-person exercise for us. It is against the devil. Now I am dealing with you. You can be said to be dead in glory. Fu Shou really gnashed his teeth. These 6 real people, who were wounded by the devil in the months of chasing the devil in the sea, so the 6 men practiced a kind of formation, joined hands, suffocating, mana integration, 6 people, quite in the master of a magical jindan. Fang Han felt that the pressure had increased greatly. He was about to return to Wang Ding and tried his best to fight. At this time, a thunder in the sky appeared out of thin air and suddenly killed. This thunder has a thick bucket, a large array of entanglements, and a faint record. Among them, there are countless thumb-sized birds, Lei Gong, who utter a kind of praise from ancient times. There is no power to counter this ancient god. Penalty. The ancient sacred sect, the ancient **** of Thunder Goddess. Boom, boom, bang, going into the sky, being hit by a blow. From that vein channel, the next person came down. Qingxi is like a waterfall, white clothes when snow, electric light wraps, cold and noble, turned out to be Fang Qingxi. Oops. Fang Han saw Fang Qingxi, and his heart paused. He felt calm and felt a little uncomfortable. He settled on his own side and came up with a helper. It was enough to fight against Tai. Fang Qingxi killed and decided, and he was not afraid of it. It was an awesome role, everything can dare to kneel down. Uncomfortable is that he has made a lot of big things. I am afraid that after Fang Qingxi knows, he will doubt the things of Huang Quan too. Fang Han, it's you. Very good, very good. Fang Qingxi appeared, looking at Fang Han. You are not the person of our family, have made so many earth-shattering events, challenge Hua Tiandu, kill the water Gu Tianmo, protect me 779-9 Island Laishan Dongfu, killing the Seven-Leaf Lord, win the magic knife and blood, and dare to hit a disciple too, now more with them, rely on your behavior, I emerge the door will definitely reward you. Well, let's say, the sister-in-law praised it. Fang Hengen smiled and collected the magic knife and blood, and left the 5 prisoners Wang Ding in the air. Dragon, don't you come out and meet Fang Shiji. See the teacher. Long Hao jumped out of Dingzong and also met Fang Qingxi. What kind of realm has the teacher and sister cultivated? In the small fairyland, the retreat can be turned into a golden dance seed. The sister is the reincarnation of the ancient electric mother, the innate spirit, and the repair is definitely not comparable with ordinary people. Fang Han asked tentatively, electric mother reincarnation. ... What is the truth? I will tell you sooner or later, but between the two, you have to tell me some truth. Fang Qingxuilian's step quietly moved. In front of Fang Han, the language was placed light and very light, even whispered, I am struggling to kill someone, want to get a baby, but you are first boarded. Tell me, is Huang Quantu on you? I didn't pay attention, but I ignored the past. Now that you know, you have become a climate. What did the sister say? How can I not understand? Fang Han looked confused, but his heart was already very vigilant. Although he became a climate now, he could not see the repair of Fang Qingxi, especially Fang Qingxi had just shot, the power is endless. Close to myself, the pace drifts, the ***** glory of the 5 prison King Ding actually can't resist her. This made the party chilling. Fang Qingxui Dao's high, but also far above the 7 leaves, giving Fang Han an inscrutable feeling, even more terrifying than the devil. November LBJNN. I know you won't admit it, but I have time, and you slowly said that you are also a family member, and the interests are still the same. Fang Qingxi whispers, breathe like blue, Fang Han has never talked to her like this. At the moment, it is too much to chase down the devil. Although the devil is a magician, but he is very interested in the teacher and sister, he has helped many times. I don't know what to do with this sister. Fang Han quickly transferred the topic. 2-1 door does not kill their prestige, it is more flying, not the blessing of my fairy. Fang Qingxi is a gentleman, like a smile, do you want to ask me for repair? I am still a little bit to practice the door. Jin Dan, but the master of Daomen Jindan is not my opponent. You also know that I got the Lady Fu, the ancient inexhaustible electric sign. The power of this device is the same as that of Huang Quan, but Huang Quan the picture is broken, and my device is complete. Even the super master of the magical powers may not be able to defeat me. The master of the longevity secret, it is not so easy to kill me. Fang Qingxui's words, implied pressure, seem to be admonishing Fang Han's own strength. Sisters and sisters are vast, the magic is boundless, and the achievement of the door is Jindan, just around the corner. Fang Han quickly said. You can rest assured, I will not be like you. I am in the Feather Gate, and it is indeed the lack of a role that you dare to fight and dare to kill. Hua Tian has a 10-year contract with you, I will help you. Fang Qingxi smiled lightly. Yes, sister is giving me a reassurance, but Huatian is this person. I have got the Taoist system of Panwushan, and there is also a Taoist device. As soon as I step into the longevity secret, no one can restrict it. The sister-in-law gave me the 7 gourds. He forcibly took it away and clearly did not put the sister in his eyes. I know all of this. I will talk about it later. Fang Qingxi suddenly said, well, let's fight with Tai this time, let me thoroughly look at your cultivation. Chapter 165, Black Windstorm. Chapter 165 Black Windstorm. There will be no disappointment for the sister. Fang Han had Fang Qingxi to take the lead, naturally wanting to challenge the prestige of Taiyaman and establish his own name. Although he already knows that Fang Qingshe has already suspected that he has a yellow spring map on his body, this thing will certainly not be a good time, but now it is not a time of guilt. Now, at this time, it's purely silly. As long as people with normal thinking will not do it. However, Fang Han will never relax his vigilance. He is thinking about how to stir up the situation and let Fang Qingshe always be unable to ask himself about the yellow spring map. Once the matter is over, Fang Han knows that he may not be able to face Fang Qingshui's inquiry, and his strength may not be an opponent. Just before Fang Qingshe shot, he defeated the 6 real people, and the combination of the heavenly and human masters, the strength is superior, in fact, it is still above Jindan. Although he got the magic knife, Blood Sky, he has 5 prison kings, more than 200,000 days of magic. The mana of the 50,000 strong horse galloping, in the dark, has the killer of Huang Quantu, but it can't fight the complete ancient, not extinguishing the electric sign. Unless you have cultivated into the heaven and man, you will practice Fire Emperor, Golden Emperor, Shui Wangquan, and Dijatao, the 5 elements in one, the heaven and earth Yuanshao, the magic knife, Wang Ding, Huang Quan. The power of the figure is maximized before it can be divided equally. November LBJNN. Of course, if you recover your strength, you are naturally not afraid of Fang Qingshe, but you are expected to restore your strength, but you might as well expect to build Jindan. I am afraid that Fang Han has cultivated to the 7/8 of Shintong, and he is far from recovering. After swallowing a large sacred water of Juyang, he was restored to the heavens and humans. After every improvement, he did not know how much pure yang zibao to devour. I have to think of a way to let Fang Qingshe take care of me. If she fights with the master of Tai, the injury will be fine. Fang Han is ready to start, while calculating, while the spirit and Yan communication. Hey, if we deal with Fang Qingshe now, how much do we have to grasp? The grasp is not very big. I don't destroy the electric sign and I am a level device. It is even older than me. If I am full, I am not afraid of it. But Fang Qingshe is going to kill us, but it is not so easy. We are not her. The opponent, if you want to run her, may not really kill us. The condensate is heavy. Is it still running? I can't think of it. I grew up to this way. A year ago, Fang Qingshe could kill me. Fang Hengsen was wide. I must understand the snow. I can run, and in this case, things still there is something to be. At the time of the psychological change of Fang Han, the whole scene suddenly became quiet. Even after the magic coach and Zhao Xuanyi exchanged 2 moves, each took back the suffocation and stopped the battle. The disciples of the major sects all talked about it. It seems that it was very jealous of the sudden appearance of Fang Qingshe. Handsome above. Fang Qingshe, you are a feather disciple, why stop me from killing the devil? Do you want to enter the magic road? Don't forget, now your words and deeds represent the feather door. Devils kill me too much disciple, killing many other fellows along the way, you help him, what is the heart? Is it because I want to use one another to reuse the heavenly killing order to deal with you? Fusho real people suddenly shouted. He was just defeated by a thunder, and finally he resolved the residual thunder and anger in the body and immediately angered and accused. Fang Qingshe, you have to think twice. Don't be the sinner of the immortal. Changchun's eyes are sinister and his mouth is very heavy. When did I help the devil? When did you stop you from killing the devil? Fang Qingshe put on a doubtful tone, like a smile, I just got the magic and Zhao Zan, I got the lightning that I got there. I am the true disciple of the Yuhuaman, Fang Han. When I say this, I want to ask, Fang Han is the true disciple of my feathering door. Why do you want to kill him if he is too big? Even if he made a big mistake, the fault is also that I have to teach the Supreme, the elders of the heavens to impose sanctions. Are you over-specialized? Do you really think that you are one of the leaders of the 10 Commandments? Are you looking at the sects of the sects? If you are pleasing to the eye, can you arbitrarily? This. Fusho lived in a moment, and it was true that Fang Qingshe did not help the devil, but only helped Fang Han. It's just that the relationship between Fang Qingshe and Mo Shuai is not shallow, so when it appears, the subconscious thinks that it is to help the devil, but he did not expect to be grasped by the other party, and Fang Qingshe said it sharply, especially the last sentence, but also it's especially hot to take Tai's door to the opposite of all the fairy sects. He wants to refute, but can't find a language to refute. Say we are too arbitrarily to appoint the Supreme, is it because I want to provoke my relationship with the 10 Commandments? I am guilty, Zhao Xuanyi said. And just Fang Han this son, Secretly help the devil, the situation is critical, if I wait I will play it first, I don't know how many of the same people are killed. The so-called arrow is on the string, I have to send it. My intention is to just drop this, and then return it to the feather gate, and then convict him. Zhao Xuanyi was trained as a master of Jin Dan, and his weight was extremely heavy. His opening, many disciples present at the scene also echoed. Zhao Shishang is not empty, but fortunately we retreat quickly, or else we really have to be killed by the devil. Indeed, the Fang Hanliang out of the magic knife messed up my mind, and Fang Han is a Fang family, the Fang family naturally wants to help the devil. A disciple of Sun and Moon Zhanzong, and Yuan Yuanzong, is discussing. Zhao Xuanyi, you fart. Just at this time, suddenly a voice bursts, everyone is shocked, face like earth, who dares to directly blame Zhao Xuanyi such a strong. They quickly looked at the past, but found it to be Fang Han, this person is really daring. Even the devil handsome is proud of the air, admiring, oh, good. Fang Han is laughing, and his tongue and knife are. You clearly saw that I had removed the 7-leaf monarch, and my heart was stunned, and I also peeked at the magic knife, the 5 prisons, and the 2 treasures, so I wanted to kill the goods. So I filthy into the magic road. Hey, this is the usual way for you to be 2-1. Don't think I don't know, and you have long been ambitions, want to control my feathering door, so I helped the Huashendu of the feathering door, just wait he cultivated into the longevity secret, and maybe he will slowly master the power of my sect. You want to get a group of elite disciples and law enforcement alliances. This is not a wolf ambition. Everyone knows it. You are too forced to divide the heavens and talk about merits. In the future, we must retire with merits. If our disciples do not follow your merits, we must lower the number of robberies to make us die. Immortality is free and unrestrained, but you want to force the monks between the heavens and the earth. This kind of ambition is better than the magic road. You must pay attention to it, don't be eroded by Tai Yuan step by step, today he can use the excuse of entering the magic to deal with me. Tomorrow, if you get what Xian Yuan, mastered the magic of what top grade, they will do this to you. Quote. In this remark, Fang Han spoke quickly, even in the canon, and alarmed, but it was extremely powerful, and at the same time did not forget to throw dirty water on Hua Tiandu. Some of the disciples of Shandao listened to these words and secretly bowed their heads, and of course they agreed. You wanna die. Zhao Xuanyi finally couldn't stand it anymore. As a disciple of Tai, he became a Taoist Jindan. He was a high-ranking person. He went all over the place. If you go to other fairy martial art, the elders will come out to greet them. Big, let alone someone who insults him. Fang Han, a little disciple, is so bold and challenges his majesty. How can he endure it? The handle was raised, a small storm burst into the palm of his hand and formed in the palm of his hand. As soon as he was cold, he immediately slammed the wind on his head, and a tornado smashed it down and covered him all over his body. Great, is this the strength of the Golden Dan level? Fang Han immediately felt the darkness of the sky, all the scenes disappeared, the wind was like an arrow in the ear, and the scorpion poured into his own pores, blowing his own 5 internal organs, the brain was a paste, and a whole body was turned into ashes. A feeling of this move is like a catastrophe in the world, and it is impossible to resist. Fang Han even raised his anger, but he couldn't lift it. Fortunately, the tree of the world in his eyebrows, quietly launched, roots must be derived, actually blocked all his pores, the hair in each pore, combined with the roots of the world tree, to absorb this hurricane a lot. Fang Han was so well received, and then he was arrogant, and the whole body was running. The wooden emperor was spinning around, and suddenly he swelled outwards. After repeated explosions, he finally resisted the hurricane from invading. However, the hurricane still wrapped him, spinning hard, and seemed to grind the disc and trap him. Everyone only saw that between Zhao Xuanyi's wave, Fang Han was wrapped in a black storm, slid into the air, struggling, but it did not help, and the wind was raging, and the ghost was crying. Hey, what is this supernatural power? How is it so powerful? If there is no tree of the world, I have been blown to ashes. Fang Han could not open this black storm and rushed to communicate. Yan has not spoken yet. Fang Qingshe stepped out in a step, 5 fingers like a hook, lightning shot, directly bombarded in the black storm wrapped in Fang Han, a flash of electric light, this group of black storm suddenly collapsed. Later, Fang Qingshe looked at Fang Han with a strange look, and then stared at Zhao Xuanyi and sneered again and again, good means. One of the 12 sacred doors of the sacred door, one of the black hurricane disasters. actually used to deal with my feathering door disciple. I have to teach you, you are too one of the 12 door Schwanman, 3 disasters and 9 difficulties, all of them are displayed. Just don't know, you have all done it. Tayuman, Schwanman 12 laws, also known as the 3 disasters and 9 difficulties. Just now he is dealing with the black wind disaster, there is a big day fire, the end of the natural disaster. Extremely powerful, each magical power is equivalent to a large cutting the great disillusionment of this kind of magical power. Tai is unique, I have always wanted to learn the 3 disasters and 9 disasters, Schwanman 12 laws, but I can't always do so. Yan said, but this Black Day typhoon did not kill you, you became famous. Chapter 166, Heaven reappears. Chapter 166 reappears in heaven. Zhao Xuani's Black Wind squad suddenly attacked, and this is not called Fang Han's killing. It seems that he really has the ability. I don't know what kind of magical cultivation is it. Zhao Xuani, brother, how identity, sneak attack and killing, even the Black Wind disaster and other means are used. Actually, there is no disciple who can kill this Fang Han, Yuhuaman, so strong. I want to tell this news to the sect. Quote, Fang Han this son, kill the 7 leaves of the demon, get the magic knife blood, and do not know where to get the 5 prisons Wang Ding, a suffocating is even more honest, if you give him to practice again, I am afraid it is another day the pride. Arguments have arisen, Fang Han's performance today, if spread out, will indeed make a name for himself. Zhao Xuani did not kill him, and he heard these arguments. His face was cold, and his body was chilling. He looked at the magician and looked at Fang Qingshe and Fang Han. Fang Qingshe, you want to fight with me, not qualified enough. Let's go together, I would like to see if the congenital Mozong and Yuhuaman join forces, can you withstand the 3 disasters and 9 difficulties, Schwanman 12 has no. On you, can you train into 3 disasters? You can practice 2 disasters in the 3 disasters. The 4 or 5 difficulties in the 9 difficulties are not bad. All of them are practiced and integrated into one. You have already changed your life. The magical power is 10, pointing to the longevity secret, and still staying in Jindan. The magic handsome laughed. Zhao Xuani, your opponent is me, don't pull it on the feather door. If you have the ability, then I will fight alone. Or we will take a look at Taiyuan Shanfu. Who can get to the depths of Taiyuan Shanfu? Whoever has the best skills, the loser self-discipline, how? Zhao Xuani changed his face and looked at the Taiyuan Shanfu behind him. He knew that he couldn't be hard-pressed. How many masters broke into it over the years, and he wanted to find the treasures left by Taiyuan Shanzun. Among them, death and death, even in these 3,000 years, rumors have been trapped in the longevity of the secret. To get in, he knows that his own path is not enough. I don't have any jealousy. You are shameless to this point and secretly kill me. Then don't blame me for killing you. Snow Master, let's go together and kill this person. I will see how it will be. Fang Hanyan's road. Well, Zhao Xuani wants to use the radical method, but I don't pay any attention to the rules. Besides, many of you are besieging me. Now I try to besiege your taste. Clear Snow, can you join me? The scorpion goddess was also the **** of the golden dragon, but we were ruined by Jindan and sealed in the crypt. Now you and I are all powerful, although I can beat Zhao Xuani's thief, but I can't kill it. He, now with your inexhaustible electrician, is enough to make him unable to escape. Take him and refine it, and then force out the method of cultivation, our mana can go further. The devil looked at Fang Hanyan's words and seemed to be more appreciated. You dare. Fusho real people, Khan is a real person, Changchun real person, Generous real person, Kunyuan real person, Luming real person, these 6 real people heard this, immediately flew to Zhao Xuani's side, surrounded by a circle. At this time, there are not a few left in the disciples. In addition to Zhao Xuani and the 6 real people, there are 2 or 3 big cats and kittens. The swords are not formed, but they are distracting. It's no wonder that the devils took advantage of the opportunity to kill dozens of people. It's no wonder that the 6 real people in Zhao Zan's handfulness are cold. A road device is no different. Even the devil, the son of the demon king, did not. Although Zhao Xuani's status is high, there are several pieces of his best treasures, but there is no one. Get it, then become a fairy, a magic weapon to get the road, it is a small thing. Even if the 2 magic weapons of Fang Han, the magic knife is bloody, the 5 prisons Wang Ding have the opportunity to promote the existence of the Tao, but there is only a chance, even if the master of the longevity secret helps him refine, it also needs a lot of heaven. Dabao, infinite yuan, pure yang shanqi, hundreds of years of hard work, can barely enlighten. When the Taoist is out, the masters of the long-lived secrets will come to fight for it. Is it a play? Therefore, Feng Qingshe was in the body and joined forces with the magician. There was an opportunity of 80% to completely kill Zhao Xuanyi and one of the disciples. Zhao Xuanyi just said that letting the three people join forces is a radical approach, but did not think that the magic handsome really wants to join forces. Your sorcerers joined forces and passed out. I was afraid that the feathers would have to be enemies. Lu Mingzhen glared at Feng Qingshe. That's a good job. It has blocked this virtual channel, killing everyone here, and there is no evidence of death. Who knows what is going on today? Just say that you all died in Taiyuan Shanfu. Expressionless, but this strategy is really fierce and sinister. Indeed, the people who were present were killed, and who knows what is going on today will naturally not be transmitted. Moreover, the devil handsome said that he would do it, and suddenly he shot, and the black sign of the road was played. Even in a moment, there were countless seals on the virtual channel. The shadows were heavy, and suddenly the void became a part of the infinite space. Xiaodongtian, no one can get it. Because the edge of Taiyuan Shanfu is a chaotic time-space storm, anyone who goes in will be strangled into a powder. Even if it is a master of longevity, there is no ability to practice to understand the virtual shuttle, and it is impossible to shuttle. In the endless parallel space, I could not find a way home, and finally died. Qing Shui, how do you feel? After blocking the void passage, the magical handsome eyes shook and stared at Feng Qingshe. Now, as long as Feng Qingshe has a word, the two can do it. Hundreds of people were killed and killed. The devil is being chased for so long, and there is resentment in his heart. He has long wanted to kill a big one. It is a rare opportunity for today. He also cultivated into the magic door Jindan, but to kill Zhao Xuanyi alone cannot do. Add snow above, grasp a lot. It should be heavenly, let's go. You and my fairy are different. Joining you to kill the disciples of the Immortal, it is impossible. But too many people who killed my family, I have to shoot, otherwise I am not bullying me. There is no one in the feather door, no one in the house. It is not relevant to you to deal with Tai. Feng Qingshe swings his hand. Well, since you said so. Then I will forget it. The devil sighed and turned into a shadow, and he would leave. Magic handsome, have you gone? Bang, a voice is conveyed from the virtual channel. The virtual channel that was originally blocked by the devil's handsome man was suddenly forcibly shaken off. A fiery sun-like flare flew out, and a faint person appeared in the blazing sun. This person is like a man. God, landed on the spot. Day of the fire, Song Wai. The magic handsome frowned. Song brother is here. The disciples of Taiyaman cheered up, and the 6 real people, Zhao Xuanyi, were relieved. Adding a new force, no one knows who the deer will die. Oops, Fang Han's heart was awkward. N-O-V-L-B-J-N.C. Ohm. Feng Qingshui's face is unchanged, looking at Song Wai. Song Wai, do you want to play against me? Feng Qingshe, you are very good. Since you are not cooperating with the magician to deal with me as a disciple, I will not be able to make a fool of you with the door. Today, the matter is still the subject of your feathering door. He speaks. Naturally, it's fair. Chinese brother, come on. Song Wei's hands in an arch, a polite way. Bang. Beyond the virtual channel, there was a sudden surge of power, in the midst of it, overwhelming, and the Taiyuan Shanfu in the distance was shaken. In this vigorous force, there is a person who appears silently, dressed in ordinary Xingyi, like a scholar in the secular, is the first true disciple of Yuhuaman, Huaishendu, supernatural, 10-day reform the power of the strong. Only one step away from the longevity secret, the longevity of the longevity of the longevity. Although Song Wai is a disciple of Tai, he usually goes out for a tour. They are all 4-clawed Jinsho carts, 99 men and 99 women, drums and chimes, and they are very popular. However, they are not as good as Huaishen. Chapter 167, Combat. Chapter 167 Gambling. Oops, how can Huaishen appear here? It is really unexpected. Fang Han is now a thing of the past, cultivated into a deep-seated, understanding the mysteries of heaven and earth, and the understanding of cultivation is more profound than a year ago. I can't compare myself. Because of this, he became more and more aware of the horror of Huaishen. There is a mysterious power in this person. With him as the center, the heavens and the earth are slowly rotating, like a huge whirlpool, to devour all the existence of disrespectful Tianwei, Fang Han feels, Huatian is only bad. One step can be sanctified. Become a god. It turns out that he doesn't know how powerful it is. He can attack this person and challenge this person. But now that I know a lot, there is a powerlessness in my heart. It's really amazing. Now the situation is complicated, I don't know what to do. When Hua Tiandu appeared, Fang Han had a bad feeling of a big event. With the strength of this person, it was enough to suppress the scene, even if it was a long-lived secret. When the master comes, I am afraid that I can't get back to the situation. This person has the Taoist system of the Taiku Pan Wuzun, the handheld device, the mana is especially strong, and I don't know how many kinds of magical powers have been cultivated. It turned out to be Hua Tiandu, you come right. 2-1 door kills me as a feather disciple. You are the first true disciple of my feathering door. Naturally, I want to maintain the reputation of my feathering door. You will be in a state. Fang Qingshe saw the arrival of Huatiandu, his eyes slightly picked up, the whole body was entangled in electric light, and the faint light was almost everywhere in the air. Everyone felt a numbness in his body, like an electric shock. I already know about this matter. Hua Tian used his gaze to shoot the audience. Finally, he stared at Fang Han's body. Fang Han, I can't think of your strength so fast, the true biography of my feathering door. Among the disciples, it is rare. However, you are eager to improve your strength, and you have no choice but to act as a disciple. Crap, I am Demon Slayer, first kill the desperate island owner, get the 5 prison kings, and then kill the 7 leaves of the demon, get the magic knife blood, such a great demon slayer, even if the elders know I will only reward me. What do you want to blame for me? Don't forget, I am also a true disciple, and I am also a true disciple. I have the same identity. Fang cold sneer, a decade is only a year, there are still 9 years left, after 9 years, I will beat you, you will wait. Fang Qingshe was slightly surprised. Although she knew that Fang Han was hitting Huatian, she did not see it before. She also knew that no one dared to attack Huatiandu in the door of Yuha. Now I have seen the cold words of the party, the hard bones, under the pressure of the other side, without showing weakness, it is like a pine that is suppressed by heavy snow. Is it? Huatian is expressionless. At this time, I represent the supreme devotion, to deal with my feathering, personal grievances, not to mention for the time being. Your 2 magic treasures are demon slayers. I won't receive yours, and I will return to the feathering gate. Naturally, I have to pay for it. You can get what you deserve. I am here today, just to prevent Yuhuaman from interfering with the magic and the grievances of Timon. Fang Qingshe, Fang Han, Long Hao, 3 of you, speed me back to the door, the things here are gone. I can be the master, you and the 1 door thing, a write-off. Just a small misunderstanding. It turns out that Huatian is here, it is bound to Qing Shui, don't be against Tai. Fang Qingshe and the relationship between the devil and the handsome, the world knows that if too much to chase the devil, the conflict, the door is difficult to be a man. Only Hua Tiandu, only to suppress the scene, bound Fang Qingshe. Fang Han probably knows what to expect. If I don't go, Fang Qingshe just looked at Huatiandu coldly. What do I have to do? It seems that you have no right to ask. If you don't leave, then I have to take you away. My feathering door is a fairy tales, and it is too close to the door. There must be no contradiction. Otherwise, in the future, the magic road will invade, and the spirits will be smeared. How can we join hands? They coughed and their brows wrinkled. Okay, then I have to see, how do you take me away? Fang Qingshui's face is very cold and seems to be attacking. NOVELBJN.C Ohm. Hua Tiandu's words are naturally unbearable. The 2 outstanding disciples of Yuhuaman, gazing at each other, one seems to pierce the lightning of the sky, a sun and a moon that seems to hang the sky, and each other is ***** for tat. In this way, we are all true disciples of Yuhuaman. If you want to fight the law, you can only fight on the penalty platform. Didn't you just call the magician to go? Hua Tian suddenly waved his hand and stood in front of the virtual passage. I just standing here, you and the devil handsome come, if you get past, I definitely don't ask anything. Turn around and go, if you can't pass, then please give up. Go back to the feather door, no longer pick up the feather door and tie the contradiction of the door. Since then, peace of mind to cultivate. How, this gambling appointment, can you deny the same? Hua Tian refers to the virtual channel behind him, and to Zhao Xuanyi, Song Wei, 2 great supernatural powers, Jin Dan Master, Zan Yi, the only younger brother, can you agree with my bet? After I have restricted the feathers of the disciples, you will have a grudge with the devil. A few of the disciples looked at it, and Song Wai had an interface. The things arranged by the Chinese brothers are not bad, but if you leave the magic, we will sacrifice so many disciples, and then. No problem, I am going to take the devil, I will personally take it down and send it to Tai. Tai is losing a lot because of my feathering. I want to apologize, I will give 1,000 to the mountain door next month. Jiazi Shendan, 1,000 disciples of Taiyuan, added Shouyuan. Huishendu's Jiazi Shendan, after taking it, can increase the lifespan of a Jiazi 60 years, which is extremely difficult to refine. He opened a mouth of 1,000, showing that the wealth is thick. A few disciples of Taiyuan were surprised and then nodded. How, Fang Shimei? After Hua Tiandu finished this, he said again to the other side. Fang Qingshe turned cold into calm, but did not answer Hua Tiandu's words, suddenly asked, Fang Han, you will not return to the feather door. 2-1 to kill you, you can't get out. How does the sister want to get it? I naturally only look at you. Fang Han ha smiled. However, 2-1 forcibly took my magic weapon and gave me a crime. I thought of a bad breath. It's so arrogant, you want to go beyond Huishendu. No matter how you cultivate, you can't do it. Only by killing in life and death, and accomplishing things that cannot be done again and again, will it completely stimulate the potential of the body and break through the realm. Fang Qingshe admired the road, and then faced Hua Tiandu. Good. I will gamble with you. Between the words, she thundered and rushed out, and each of the thunder light formed a record, and the dynasty rushed over. Hua Tiandu was stunned and did not move. Only the voice came out. I still have trouble with a few friends. I will give you a cold, but don't hurt him, don't take his magic weapon. Just seal him, I will bring him back to the door. Do not destroy the peace of my immortal. Ha 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 ha, Hua Tiandu, I want to go, can you stop me? Mo Shuai has been listening, quietly, but when Fang Qingshe started, he immediately started, his hand lifted, a big collapse the killing technique was sent out. In the twinkling of an eye, Fang Qingshe and Mo Shuai will join forces at the same time to break through the virtual channel that Hua Tian is guarding. The war began. The power of A is raging. Fu Shou, Kun Yuan, generous, detached, Lu Ming, Changchun. You 6 people, take the following cold. I will fight for you. Take a look, this is what the matter is. Song Wai saw Fang Qingshe, Mo Shuai, Hua Tiandu struggled and set the order. Yes, brother. The 6 real people have been planning for a long time, and they have pushed out the palms and played a big squad. 6 younger brothers can deal with Fang Han. But to seal him, I am afraid of difficulties. Do you and I don't do it? Zhao Xuanyi screamed at the other side. No, let them fight first, anyway, you and me, there is nothing. We also fight for Huishen. When necessary. Song Wai flashed fierce light, then turned into spiritual exchange. When necessary, I killed Fang Qingshe and Devil Shuai. This forced Huishen to completely turn to me too much. And this is cold, it must be killed. We are now look and wait, see Fang Qingshe Shuai and Hua Tian are in full swing, cannot distract, start to work. You said Huishendu, can you deal with the magic handsome and Fang Qingshe? After all, Fang Qingshe has a device in the body, and the rumor is that the electric mother reincarnation, the potential is unfathomable. Zhao Xuanyi spirits fluctuate. Fang Qingshe has not yet completed Jin Dan. If Hua Tiandu also uses the Taoist device, she certainly can't resist it. But it seems that Huishen is not ready to use the Tao. Yeah, after all, there are feather gates there. Pay attention to Fang Han, that kid. Fang Han has long been alert, knowing that today's situation is already sinister. When Hua Tiandu appears, it is almost doomed to turn the situation. Therefore, when the 6 real people started, he fell into the 5 Prison King tripods, urging the formation, rushing to bleed and smash the magic light, guarding himself to the wind and rain, not seeking merit but seeking nothing. At the same time, he sacrificed the blood of the magic knife, and made a ***** knife shadow, hard to swear each other's squad. Knife, collision, a strip of knife shadows tears a lot of runes that swim in large circles. **** join the sky, change. The 6 real people laughed and screamed again. These changes in suffocation were injected into the squadron of the squadron. When they suddenly grew up, they clashed with the magic knife, blood scorpion, and some suffocated and recorded the knives. It seems that a brewing plan is brewing. Want to swallow my magic knife? Fang Han had expected this point long ago. Between the magic knife changes, let the cockroach manipulate the 5 prison king tripods, urging the power of more than 200,000 days of magic inside, suddenly accelerated. You have already cultivated the heavens and humans, and control Wang Ding, which is much more convenient than Fang Han. This urging, the power is greatly increased, and a dangerous atmosphere is instantly released. Chapter 168, One-Sided Suppression. Chapter 168 One-Piece Suppression. Yan, at this time, should not be revealed, but secretly manipulated the 5 prison king tripod, but no one found it, a master of heaven and earth, and a master of ambiguity, while controlling the magic weapon. The effect is simply heaven, the difference between the clouds and mud. It is like the same horse, riding everyone and Shantou Qing to control, who is better and who is inferior, at a glance. Master of heaven and humanity, very familiar with the formation method, control all kinds of large arrays, the subtle changes will be more clearly understood, while the suffocating into it, the array method corresponds to the array method, the power superimposed. What's more, Yan is born to be tyrannical, a dragon vein of the Yellow River, and the essence is 3 points stronger than the real dragon. Now there are tens of thousands of mana, more than Fang Han. The same as the magical 5-day world, Yan is much stronger than ordinary human monks. Among the 5 prison kings, more than 200,000 heads of demon is a strong and overbearing force. Hey, this is a cold, although there are 2 magic treasures in the body, the power is great. But the realm of its own is too low, cannot play the power of the magic treasure. Let's join hands, cut off the connection between him and the ***** knife, and then in one fell swoop, we issued a magic weapon for our hard work, so that he could not eat and walk. Let's the 6 real people, if you can't pick up the master of this little ambiguity, then you will pass it out, will there be our foothold in the future? Watian does not say, don't let us hurt him. Hey, what did Watian say, what do we do? Do you not hear the first play? We killed this Fang Han and won his magic weapon. The wood has already become a boat. Is Watian dare to be against us? It's a good saying, but the skill of this child's cultivation is weird. Although it is a wood-based magical power, it is not the Tianmu of the feathering door. The high quality of the Qi is rare in the world. If we can get his cultivation method, practice his kind of arrogance, and repair it as a must. That's why he took him and forced him to practice his practice. This man's suffocation is indeed weird. Even the Black Day Typhoon of Zhang Yi's brother did not kill him. In this momentary battle, the 6 real people have been connected together, and at the same time their spirits are connected together. Each other, with one thought, the other party knows, and the 6 people communicate in an instant, basically it doesn't take any time. These 6 real people are also extremely envious of Fang Han's suffocating qualities, especially Fu Shuzhang. Using Dazizhen's full force, he is actually blocked by suffocating. He knows from his experience that this is a kind of wonderful work. If you don't want to get the law, the more magical powers you practice, the more powerful you are, the more powerful Jindan will be in the future. The 6 people were almost between hands-on, and they decided to poison their hands and abandon Fang Han. However, just as they were preparing to implement the plan, the 5 prisoners, under the urging of Yan, swayed wildly, and the dangerous atmosphere burst into flames. UFO! 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 The 5 prisoners, the sound of the impact, is no longer a sonic boom, but a kind of faint filament sound, floating in the space. Ghosts and gods generally flash, directly in front of the 6 real people, powerful power, cover up all the sounds, and at the same time send a strong suction to prevent the 6 real people from running away. November LBJNN. Yan, shot hot, even in a breath too, soul, swallowing array, sucking dragon array, and so on, took a big array of magic weapons out of more than a dozen. Unbeatable suction, it seems that even the light is sucked in. The suffocation of the 6 real people is also like a sea of people, and they are thrown into Wang Ding, and their bodies are also ready to move. Cannot stand the body. Not good. Zhao Xuanyi was shocked to see these scenes. There are still hidden masters. At least the level of heaven and humanity, the power of a mana, far beyond the masters of the same realm. The thoughts flashed past, he wanted to shoot, but it was too late. Yan, suddenly shot, that is, to take one, and then take the life of the 6 real people, threatening Zhao Xuanyi, Song Wei, today safely left here. The lives of the 6 real people are at hand, not to mention that one is a mouse, and even if it is Hua Tiandu, why not? This is the best and the only means to resolve the situation. Fang Han and Yan are calculated accurately. Ren generation. Dare Changchun real people have not shown their most powerful asterisk, they were broken by Fang Han. Wang Ding came to the side, feeling the danger came, his heart was angry, violently screaming, around the body Taoist suffocating, Changchun violent friction. But it is late, where will Fang Han let him readjust? The blood of the magic road turned over and flickered, and he broke his suffocation, but did not kill him. Instead, he flew again. In Fusho, the real person, the real person, the real person, the real life, the other 5. On the body, they each slashed a knife. Hey, 5 sounds. The 5 people's bodyguards were smashed, and the vestments on their bodies were smashed. Suddenly, the ability to protect was lost. 6 of the beggars, all absorbed Wang Ding. Bang! In the middle of Wang Ding, Long Yao saw that there were 6 people in Dingzong. All of them fell before a screen. Then, on the screen, the golden light flashed, the sound blasted, and the big array of spurs acted like an invisible mountain. All 6 people were clamped and wrapped. This is the method of repression in the 5 prisons, and the enemy is kept in the air, so that the enemy cannot move, and can only be slaughtered. However, the 6 real people, after all, are all masters of heaven and earth. Their mana, although there is no Fang Hanshang, but there are also 2 or 3,000 horses rushing, compared to the ordinary talents of the heavens, 1 more doubled. The ordinary heaven and earth is just the power of the horse. These 6 people combined more than 150,000 troops. Although they were suppressed, they were still 100 insects, and they died without being stiff. In Wang Ding, screaming fiercely, wanting to sacrifice a powerful killer, 6 medicinal herbs, flying out of their treasures, will fall into the entrance. It is the madness to reduce life. Of course, Yan will not let them do this. If they devour the medicinal herbs by 6 people, at the cost of damaging the Shouyuan, the mana surge will not only break out, but also kill Fang Han, so that he is also escaping. On the occasion of this millennium, Yan screamed, "Please pray the gods." Bang! Suddenly, in the 5 prisons, all the screens, a strong light, gathered together, formed a huge stone monument. This stone monument, all of them are densely sacred texts, deep and mysterious, seems to be telling the world to be reasonable, there is no magic. As soon as the stone tablet appeared, it was suppressed on the top of the 6 real people. Suddenly, the 6 real people immediately stopped, and maintained a variety of postures, seemingly frozen. The law of the suppression of the 5 prison kings is the prisoner of the gods. Now suppress you for now. Want to eat the madness and reduce the life of Dan. Hugh, with a wave of hand, the 6 medicinal herbs fell into its hands. Then handed it to Fang Han. Good medicinal medicine, but I have no use. This medicinal medicine is very difficult to refine. Even if it is a true disciple of Tai, there is only 1 grain in 1 person. After eating 1 grain, the second grain has no effect. You can use it in the crisis, and the rest can be taken out in exchange for all kinds of heavenly treasures. This medicinal medicine can be exchanged for a large number of treasures. Fang Han took over the medicinal herbs, and then gave the dragons on, the which 1, and the other 4 were collected. Subsequently, his voice rolled out. Zhao Xuanyi, Song Wei, if you don't want the 6 real people to die, you will immediately retreat. Huishendu, you still can't stop, I will abolish the magic of these 6 real people. Chapter 169, Heaven and Earth Law. Chapter 169 Heaven and Earth Law. No one can think of it. Fang Han's fascination, within a face-to-face, has taken the 6 real people of Taihei's name, and sealed them, so that they have no room for even their hands. Even Zhao Xuanyi, Song the only 2 of these 7 supernatural powers, Jin Dan masters have no time to react. Of course, this is also Zhao Xuanyi, and Song Wei's most attention has been placed on the hand of Hua Tiandu's return to the virtual channel. If they pay attention to the 6 real people from the beginning, it is impossible for Fang Han to succeed. But where do they know that Fang Han still hides a supernatural power, the Yan, of the heavens and humans? I thought that the 6 real people conceal, but one is wrong, all loses, and the face is lost. Just when Fang Han and the 6 real people started, Hua Tiandu, who was guarded in the virtual passage, also ushered in the bombardment of Devil Shuai and Fang Qingshe. Thousands of thunder and lightning directly rushed to his body. The power of Fang Qingshe is extremely terrifying. Under the attack, even a mountain can be blown up, but it is blown up around Huishendu, but it is blocked by an invisible force. No matter how fierce the lightning is, it will not penetrate. And the devil handsome is also going all out, the fingers are wrapped around, countless magic shadows flutter, the congenital white bone relics rise up, All the air is a blossoming bone lotus, while those bone lotus seeds are sitting a white bone demon sings a series of curses. These curses are not sounds, but suffocating mana, and so on. Ghost curse. Wat Tiandu's eyes burst into a strong crystal manse, and he rushed out of the Beizong, and the mana was climbing. A circle of chill spread out to withstand the thunder and lightning, and at the same time rushed into the white bone lotus. On the spot, some white bone lotus was washed and broken. This is his chilly spirit. Actually, with an enemy too, the silk does not move, hard to hold the virtual channel, so that Fang Qingshe and Mo Shuai cannot cross the lakey half a step. However, between the moments of this moment, Fang Qingshe, the devil handsome, wants to display the great powers again, but the sound of Fang Han is heard. When Fang Han's voice was heard, Hua Tian was the first to see it, and Fang Qingshe and Mo Shuai also looked at it. When the three people stopped at the same time, they all expressed shock. They also couldn't think of it. Fang Han had a face-to-face and could win the 6 real people. This is too fast. The hands-on between them is only 1 round. Fang Han's victory and defeat has been fixed, and it is still the most humiliating to suppress. Well, Fang Han, Fang Qingshe took the thunder and lightning, and he couldn't help himself. The devil handsome also received the magical power, and the blossoming bone lotus disappeared out of thin air. He knew that with his skill, I am afraid that I couldn't get the 6 real people in one face, but the little Fang Han, a master of the ambiguous situation, did it. It is really shocking. Impressive. This Fang Han is too powerful. One of the 6 real people of Timon, which one is not the name of Hehui's name? There are already a few Jiazi in the world, and it has been cleaned up. This is too much to shoot a mouse. That is not necessarily. Fang Han does not dare to kill a disciple of Tai, let alone a real person in heaven and earth. Of course, it won't kill, but Fang Han brought them back to the Yuhuaman, and then let the elders of Taiyaman come to lead people, which is more uncomfortable than killing them. Fang Han is a man who is so embarrassed. He hasn't heard that he even dared to challenge Huatian. It's still not a time to make a magical power. This person is lawless, and maybe he dares to kill a disciple. Yes, there are always a few who are not afraid of death. Like Tai, there was a exquisiteness before. What do we do to see Taiyaman? Some other disciples, such as Sun and Moon Zhanzong, Wang Guixian Island, Danding Swordsman, and One Yuan School, saw this situation, shock, excitement, worries, could not help the arguments have risen. Seeing the shock of the audience, Fang Han smiled with satisfaction, looking at Hua Tiandu, Zhao Xuanyi, Song Wai. Hua Tiandu, are you not asking them to take me? Now it is the other way around, I am taking it. Let them go. What should you do? Their lives and deaths are all under your control. Zhao Xuanyi, Song Wai, 2 Taoist friends, 2 brothers. I have learned from 6 real people, but I am better than I have to raise it. Fang Han attributed this fight to a discussion. It is thoughtful. You still haven't put 6 real people. Hua Tiandu's face is cold. Do you know, you have already committed my feather door rules. Is it? Fang Han ha laughed. I made a door rule. Which one is it? Isn't the door rule that we are attacked and can't resist? It's your Huatian's own rules. If you do not let go, destroy the unity of my immortality, do you think that I can't cure you? Although you swear, you must defeat me in 10 years, I will not hurt you, nor kill you, but you take the 5 prisons. The magic weapon deals with the disciples of the Immortal, but I have to accept you, lest you endanger the Immortal. Huatian is expressionless, but everyone can see that he is really angry. Hua Tiandu, can you give it a try? No, vel, b, in c ohm. Fang Qingshe spoke up. 5 prison king ding is the result of Fang Hanyu killing the demon. Last time my 7 gourd, you took it away, I have not found your trouble, this time I want to come here. I have to ask if I promised not to agree. Quote. Do you think that I am eager to see this Wang Ding? The 7 gourds have been re-refined by me, and the power has increased tenfold. I have already given you your sister. It seems that if you take this accusation, there is no reason. Hua Tian is cold and cold. Fang Han, let me ask again. Can you let go? Hua Tiandu, do you think that I was the little man a year ago? You dare to do it. I will kill these 6 real people. Do you believe it or not? Do you think I am afraid? You try, I can't dare. Fang Han looked awkward. Well, bang, Hua Tian is physically moving. There was a phantom on his head, which was wearing an embroidered 1,000 moons and stars, as well as patterns of mountains and rivers. The most secretive thing is that this shadow has 9 hands, 5 heads, a giant tortoise on the foot, and a giant fish. Each of the 9 hands holds a knife, a sword, a bow, a gun, a hammer, a fork, and a bottle, rope, stick. The faces of the 5 heads of this shadow are all Taoist, just like Huatian, but with different expressions. There is a smile, a serious, an anger. Every mouth makes a sound. The world of heaven and earth. Actually, it is a supernatural power that can be trained to come out. The Shintong 7th is Jindan, and the 8th is the Raging Fire. After the Raging Fire, the Shintong Zhouzhang can transform its own mana, Taoism and spirit into a law of heaven and earth. The magical powers of each person are different, and the laws of the heavens and the earth that are practiced are also different. This heaven and earth law has been practiced, not only to gather inconsistency, to go outside the space, there is no physical bondage, and it is endless, and it is a ***** of life. Huatian has displayed his own heaven and earth law, the ***** of life, and it is also visible that it is moving. This world and the earth phase of the ***** of life flew out, the big hand grabbed out, immediately covered the sky, the wind and cloud discoloration. Go to the square cold cover. Chapter 170, Deterioration. Chapter 170 deteriorates. Although Fang Han may calculate that Huatian is likely to do it, but he did not expect that the strength of Huatiandu was so strong. The ***** of the heavens and the earth was sacrificed, and all the airflow was almost frozen. Even in the 5 prison king tripods, I feel deeply. What is even more powerful is that the other side grabbed the big hand and sent out a burst of fairy sounds, which conveyed to their minds and their thinking became slow. You dare to do it? Fang Qingshe reacted the fastest, and her head rushed out of the thundercloud. A thunder, which is about the same size as Huatiandu, appeared. This Raytheon is walking in the dark clouds, wearing a lightning robes, with 5 square crowns, majestic and unified photography, and the king is in the world. All the lightning is directed by him. The yin and yang are present for him. Open your eyes, it is a million glory. It seems that all the lightning in the world is hidden in a pair of eyes. This is also a world of law. However, it was not Fang Qingshui's own, but the Taoist device that she had on her body, the invincible electric symbol, was condensed in the Chinese and French, and it was an immortalized emperor. Okay, don't destroy Lady Huatiandu's heaven and earth law. 5 heads and 9 arms, Zonko is a rolling fairy, 9 arms, in addition to 1 arm continue to catch Fang Han, the other 8 arms waving, weapons flying, hard to live. The tears of the snow are not destroyed by the emperor. 2 giants fought in an instant. Heaven and earth law is relatively spelled. The huge mana aftermath passed out, hee. In the distance, around the Taiyuan Shanfu, some small suspended palaces were ruptured and fell to the ground. The Taiyuan Shanfu, Zhengong, which is a big monster, is also rippling. The outside of the immortal ban is faintly rotated. The small palace around Taiyuan Shanfu has not been known how many people have been scraped over the years. It has already been broken, but the Zhengong has never been opened yet. No one who enters it can come out. However, Fang Han did not feel so much about it at this time. Although Huatiandu's 90% attack was blocked by Fang Qingshe, there was only 1% left, and he could not afford it. The big hand caught the 5 prisons, and it was almost a waste of power. It was invaded and the suffocating sighs were not the chill of the heavens, but the mixed suffocation of various magical powers. On the spot, several large arrays in the 5 prisons of the kings immediately stopped running, and the power was greatly reduced. More than 200,000 demons on the screen of the ghost screen died in the blink of an eye. Tens of thousands. The head of the demon instantly collapsed. The rest of the demon also felt the end of the day, and madly moved. Fang Han sighted the barrier of the 5 prison king tripod. Under this big hand, just like tofu, cannot stand a blow. At this moment, Fang Han also finally understood the true strength of the first master of this feather door. The 50,000-day demon has died. Now the demon in Wangdingzong is less than 180,000. Damn, even the Yan feels tricky. He provoked many large arrays of Wangdingzong against the invasion of Huatiandu. But it did not help. One after another, the big arrays stopped working. Wangding was set in the air. Fang Han wants to release the magic knife and blood to kill, but this magic knife cannot even rush out. Outside the entire tripod, Huatiandu was blocked by the supreme force. The repair of Fang Hanyu's atmosphere, the magic power of 50,000 horses and rushing horses, in front of the magical power of these, world and territory law, there is nothing to do. Mothers, do not do, too endless. Just do these 6 real people, fight out to be the enemy of the world, you Huatian dare to do it, Lao Su is not vegetarian. Fang Han at this critical juncture, killing a heart, I want to kill the 6 real people. He had won the 6 real people, and he only threatened to use it as a bargaining chip. However, Hua Tian did not care at all, and immediately began to work. It can be seen that it's tyrannical overbearing, to know that Zhao Xuanyi, Song Wei now voted for the rat. Originally, Fang Han thought that Huatian was relying on Tai, but now it seems that it is not the same thing. But there is another picture. The blood of the magic knife on the hand is spinning, and it is necessary to shoot the 6 real people who suppress it. Fang Han also knows that if he kills 6 real people, he will be the enemy. 6 real people, no more than the code, the summer, the burning, the status is much higher. Killing people in the eyes of the public, the evidence is conclusive, let alone the one door will completely kill the opportunity, the feather door will not spare yourself. Take these 6 real people, you will get to the mountain gate, that is the most face-to-face thing of you woman, and you will definitely get a big reward. But if you kill, it is very different. Fang Han had a bit of hesitation in his heart, but Hua Tian was so fierce, he just wanted to do it all the time. Not good. The prison of war is broken. At the moment when Fang Han was determined to kill, Yan screamed, and the prison god's monument, that suppressed the 6 real people under the powerful mana of Huatian was disintegrated. Fusho real person, Lu Ming real person, Changchun real person, Khan is a real person, generous real person, Kun Yuan real person. At the same time, a huge mana was poured in from the Dingko, and the 6 people were taken out, and even the dragons were taken out. Long Hao was struggling to run a big battle, but the big battle was forcibly stopped, and when the body moved, Hua Tian was lifted out with force. Wang Ding's protective array was actually broken. At this time, Fang Han's magic knife blood did not wave out. Zan a friend, but a friend, to one of the 6 real people, I have been saved. Long Hao, you will not follow the participation, I sent you out. Today's things, nothing to do with you. Between Hua Tiandu's shots, Wang Ding's big bang was smashed, and Long Hao and the 6 real people were arrested. With a loud voice, the 6 real people were thrown to Song Wei and Zhao Xuanyi, but Long Hao was directly sent out to the virtual channel. Hua Tiandu, you want to take me? Hugh. Fang Han saw that Long Hao and the 6 real people were taken out, and a suffocating attack came to him. This suffocating is very concise, pure and unimaginable. Compared to his own wooden emperor, he must be amazed, and the realm of the realms should be much higher than the arrogance of one horse. Although Fang Han's Muhuang suffocating, the quality is very high, but Hua Tiandu's suffocating realm is too high, have reached the level of rebellion against the sky, compared to Fang Han's full 7 realms. The magical powers are tenfold, and each weight is separated by mountains. 7 realms, that difference is equal to the ants and elephants. In this dangerous situation, Fang Han spurred the blood of the magic knife and smashed it with this scorpion. Good chance. Zhao Xuanyi, Song Wei screamed, 2 Jindan class masters, suddenly shot, 1 person exhibited, Black Day Wind Disaster, 1 person exhibited, Big Day Fire, smack to Fang Han, Feng Huo the disaster suddenly wrapped around Wang Ding. Refining this person, at the same time refining this tripod. These 2 people are actually, taking people to be sick and wanting human life. At this juncture, Wang Ding, who captured Fang Han, refining him. This is also the best chance. The black whirlwind, creaking, such as ghosts and anger. Blazing flames, sparkling fire, such as the scorching sun. As soon as I blow into Dingzong, Fang Han feels that the body is melting in the group, there is nothing wrong with it. It is melting. The candle generally melts. This is the real refining. The strength of the 2 great Jindan masters, Fang Han could not resist. The situation is extremely dangerous. Fight. N-O-V-E in .c ohm. Fang Han suddenly threw a madness and reduced life into his mouth, suddenly felt the madness of the drug, violent clashes in the whole body, a violent mana, rose into the mind, blended with his own arrogance. His mana is raised in layers. Reduce your life expectancy by 100 years. In exchange for a short mana to desperately inspire all potential, one of the devastating forces spread out. It turns out that this is the case. There is a devastating force in the Murray's life reduction Dan. This devastating force is really a madman. Fang Han's mana is skyrocketing, and his mana is equivalent to 5. Wan Lai Ma Pentium, now up, 80,000, 100,000, 150,000. 200,000. has risen to 300,000, and this devastating force has all merged with the suffocating. Fang Han did not know what is the devastating power of the madness and the reduction of life. But his mana has increased by 4 or 5 times. Feeling the whole body of mana, there is an impulse to destroy everything. Fang Han Meng's urge to spur the magic knife, while pushing the 5 prisoners, and breaking the Black Day Wind Disaster, and Big Day Fire, will be rushed out. Hey, take the madness and reduce the life of Dan. The mana is skyrocketing, but the difference in the realm is not a remedy that can be made up. Zhao Xuanyi, Song Wei suddenly felt his own wind, the fire was actually shaken, and immediately knew what happened. I couldn't help but sneer, and a golden bead on my head suddenly rose. Jin Dan, Taoist Jin Dan. The two actually displayed their own magical powers and formed a Taoist Jindan. This is the most important thing of Jin Dan Master, and it is also the core of a lifetime of cultivation. It was sacrificed by Zhao Xuanyi and Song Wei. It is obvious that the two are bound to win. When Jin Dan came out, Fang Han suddenly felt the pressure of being like a sea, and he also saw the sneer of the two masters outside. No, Fang Han, the realm is too big. I can't stand it at the same time, I can't stand it anymore, this time I planted it. He said that he was eager to speak. Is it impossible to rectify the millennium? I am not willing. Quote. For the sake of the present, survive in the dead. Go. Suddenly, Fang Han bit his teeth, bursting out of unprecedented power, and urging Wang Ding with all his strength. He slammed into the Taiyuan Shanfu. He actually would rather die. In the past thousands of years, it has been the main palace of the Taiyuan Shanfu. Not good. Song Wei, Zhao Zan was shocked. Oops. Fang Qingshe was also shocked. Chapter 171, Break into Shanfu. Chapter 171 Breaks into Shanfu. Under the violent push of the 5 Prison King tripods, whistling away, really slammed into the Taiyuan Shanfu. This is beyond the expectations of everyone. No one expected the shackles of Fang Hanwei to know that the disciples who are being used by Tai are still taking a living road and breaking into Taiyuan Shanfu. That is a dead end. The huge Taiyuan Shanfu is rippling with the ripples of a stock. It seems that I feel the proximity of the 5 Prison Kings, and the injunction reacted instinctively. This rippling ripple spread out, the power is enormous, the emptiness of the landslide and tsunami in the imaginary air, and it seems that hundreds of millions of horses rushed to sprint. Even if Zhao Xuanyi, Song Wei's repairs, can't help but be a little scared. The law of heaven and earth, Panwu vigorously, give me a break. Hua Tiandu saw this scene and once again made a spurt. The 5 heads and 9 arms, of the heaven and earth law, 9 hands open, stretched for dozens of miles, broke the mana block, and smashed toward Fang Han to catch it, turned out to be to take the square cold before you have entered Shanfu. You will get it. Yu Huaman's true disciple is not the same as Xiaoke, so he will not be able to get rid of it. Where did he know that he provoked the world and the law, and even caused the Taiyuan Shanfu to ban the counterattack? Bang, rumble, the prohibition of Taiyuan Shanfu changed again. Numerous radiances of Xiaoguang came out. The pressure of Xiaoguang was great. Only when the first one of Huaishandu's heaven and earth law began to collapse, the Xiaoguang reflected. The envy of Hua Tiandu, to kill this person who does not respect Tianwei directly. Taiyuan Xiaoguang, it's really amazing. Panwu 9 changes. Huaishan is at this moment feeling a strong danger. The huge world and territory law has changed in succession, and has changed 9 forms in a row, shrinking to a minimum. That Xiaoguang will also shrink, such as the sacral bones, the instant 2 magical powers, it becomes the size of the fist. The 5 elements are extremely changing, the heaven and earth are smashing. At this critical moment, Huaishan has changed again. The 5 kinds of brilliance of the body flashed fiercely, and the expansion of thousands of times turned into a giant. The sound of countless explosions, excited from the body, was shattered by the ray of light around his body. It's amazing. Taiyuan Xiaoguang was broken by him. I have been at least 300 years of hard work with this Huaishan. The magician saw this scene, and he felt the first true biography of the feather door. The strength of the disciple. In the Taiyuan county of Taiyuan, there are layers of bands, which are all left to the tents of the old people's secrets. They are close to the immortality of Taiyuan Shanzun. No one is now open. This, Taiyuan Xiaoguang, is a kind of ban. If you let it entangle the body, the master of the magical mystery, there is only one dead road, but did not think that Huaishan is so broken. But the machine is not lost, the loss is no longer coming. The devil took this opportunity and shouted, "Hua Tiandu, I will leave. The coming day will definitely be a painful battle with you." Talking, between his body, a white light like a rainbow. Going straight out from the virtual channel, this is his magic door smashing method, white bones, flying fast, lightning, and practicing to the realm of Jindan. It is 1,000 miles away, and it will come soon. Hua Tiandu did not have time to stop because of the need to break the Taiyuan Xiaoguang. At this time, Fang Han's 5 prisons, Wang Ding, also completely entered the Taiyuan Xiaoguang package, disappeared. It seems that the mud cows into the sea. This person has entered Shanfu, that is, there is no way to live. Unfortunately, the 2 best magic weapons on his body, the magic knife and the blood and the 5 prisons. If we have these 2 magic weapons, use the fairy law to sacrifice, that strength can be increased tenfold. It is a pleasure and a pity that Fusho real people saw that Fang Han disappeared in Dongfu. Yeah, the magic knife is bloody, and the 5 prisoners are dying. It's a pity. It may be banned by the funeral of the sacred house. It will be crushed into glutinous rice. But this is dead, but we are not killing it anyway. He is looking for himself. In the future, it will be considered as a great scourge. Otherwise, after 3 years, the group of fairy tales will shine, and we will face the face. Dead is good, death is wonderful. The 6 real people exchanged their spirits. They had just been suppressed by Fang Han and passed out. Not to mention that it was 100 years of prestige, people did not have to do it, but now Fang Han died, but they have calculated a bad smell. Hua Tiandu, you forced the death of Fang Han. I am a true disciple of Yuhuaman. I am going to report this to the elders of the sentence, and the teacher is honored. Let him decide. Fang Han is a rare one in my feather gate for 300 years. The genius, and born with a great fairy, the air is long. You are now killing him, see how you confess to the teacher. Fang Qingshe looked at the place where Fang Han disappeared for a long time. It seemed to be attacking, but he endured it. After a while, he opened his mouth to Huishendu. Hey, this child has broken into the magic road, looking for a dead end, who is it? I just wanted to save him, but I was late, didn't you see it? Hua Tian said with a cold voice. The devil escaped, this time, I will win the game. I don't care about it at this time. Zan's friends, but a friend, what do you mean? We still go after the killing of the devil. Zhao Zan said. I hope that the disciples of Yuhuaman should not interfere, or the consequences will be conceded. Hey, I have never interfered with your pursuit. Fang Qingshe said coldly, but you also killed people in my family. Today I don't care about you. After 3 years, the group event, I will you or to a disciple, knowing that heaven is awkward and retribution is not good. Hey, we are waiting. Zhao Xuanyi, Song Wei, a pair of Hua Tiandu, arched their hands and flew outside the virtual passage. Hua Tiandu's body moved and disappeared from the air. Fang Qingshe was directly turned into a thunder and disappeared. On the spot, there were only a few disciples of the other sects who were talking about it. Unfortunately, another genius is like a meteor. Yes, this Fang Han can kill the 7 leaves monster, and he can take one of the 6 real people in one fell swoop. This method is almost equivalent to Jindan Master. Yuhuaman lost such a potential true disciple and got the news. I don't know what my heart hurts. It is true that talents are rare. Yuhuaman's losses have been great this time. But I think that Huatian is deliberately eradicating the scourge and using the hands of Taiyuman. It is really a side of the heart. This is not our business. The most serious loss this time is the feather door. Right, we still can't chase the devil. I still chase a fart, to a disciple's thing, they are so strong and overbearing. Look at their jokes are too late, and go to help chase. That is also, let's go. All the disciples have also left this unique space of Taiyuan Shanfu. In a time, the eternal loneliness is restored here. This abandoned Shanfu, the void of asterisk, is quiet, seems to be waiting to swallow the next target. At this point, Fang Han is still not dead. After he swallowed the madness and reduced life, the mana skyrocketed, and the 5 prisoners also increased their power. Once they entered the Taiyuan Shanfu, Ban, the infinite, Taiyuan Xiaoguang, was wrapped. Come in. Hey, hee. Under the pressure of the Taiyuan Xiaoguang, the 5 prisons of Ding Ding actually showed a broken posture, and there were many cracks on it. This is a great glow. 5 magical Wang Ding and other magic weapons can be crushed. Fang Han was shocked. This is a very brilliant fairy god, the talents of the long-lived secrets can be derived, Taiyuan Xiaoguang. Even Huang Quan, the emperor is also taboo. The roar said, This time we are really dead. Just then, suddenly there was a loud noise outside, and the ray of Wang Ding suddenly weakened a lot. Well, Hua Tiandu actually caused a ban. His mana is thousands of times higher than me. Now it attracts the power of the ban. We take this opportunity and break in. Fang Han immediately knew what happened. Hua Tian arrested himself and did not catch it, but it triggered the attack of Taiyuan Xiaoguang. At this time, this is the only chance. It is roaring and the body is flying. The Wangquan figure itself flies out from Fang Han and turns into a rolling yellow cloud, completely guarding Wang Ding. Taiyuan Xiaoguang, everything can be destroyed. But Huang Quantu itself is a Taoist instrument, the quality is very good. Xiaoguang is difficult to destroy, we quickly rushed over. At this time, I have been able to use Huang Quantu to guard, in the fight with Taiyi's disciple. It is impossible to display it, but there is no scruples in the Taiyuan Xiaoguang. The magic weapon of the 5 prisons Wang Ding, in the Taiyuan Xiaoguang, must be destroyed. However, the Wangquan map is different, the unique Taoist device, the treasure of the town of the first martial art. Where is it so easy to destroy? Huang Yun rolling, forgetting the water and flashing everywhere, 2 Yuanxia light hit the water, actually did not spread, but the power was reduced a lot. Fang Han saw this look, and his heart was overjoyed. Forget the fruit is to forget the water, give it to me. 5 prisoners, Ding, struggled hard, and did not know how long it took, bang. As soon as the front changed, the heavens and the earth rotated, all the pressures disappeared, and they actually appeared in an empty hall. This hall is vast and magnificent. A pillar of a root, Hua Biao, stands up. The portal on the first floor is like an ancient labyrinth. I don't know where to go. However, this magnificent palace is very desolate. In the palace, there are ancient traces everywhere, deserted steps, broken seats, and more, N-O-V-E-L-B-J-N.C. Weathered bones. There is nothing wrong with it. In this hall, there are many bones, and some of the remaining brilliance is faintly flashing. It seems to be some kind of magic weapon. It seems that in this hall, many people have died, many of them are trapped here, and they are not allowed to go out. Hey, Fang Han flew out from the Ding, and stepped on a series of white bones. The white bones seemed to be rotten, and they stepped into powder, but they shocked Fang Han. How can this be? The ability to enter this Taiyuan Shanfu is full of power, the body is as hard as iron, the body is rotten, and the bones will not decay. The master of the realm of change in the realm of the gods, the body is 10 heavy, after being dead, buried in the ground for hundreds of years, will not rot. Not to mention the master of the magical mystery. Fang Han, this is the difference between the time and the outside. In the year outside, it will take a long time of 366 years. The person who entered here a year ago is equal to 306. 10 years have passed. A master of heaven and earth, only 800 years old, enters here. The outside people seem to have only passed 3 years, but in this, he is dead. These bones are 100 years ago, in the long years of this palace, it actually passed for 10,000 years, 100,000 years. Under such a long time, even if it is a flying sword, it will decay. The master of the longevity secret will be dead. Among the sly voices, there was a horror. What, you mean, stay here for 366 years, only outside the past year? Fang Han is shocked. Chapter 172, Corpse, Seed, Jindan. Chapter 172 Corpse, Seed, Jindan. Good. Masters of longevity and secrets can change the loss of time. The higher the mana, the greater the change of time. The legend of Taiyuan Shanzun is a master of the longevity and secret, and can manipulate the time of 360 times. It's horrible. I was afraid that Huang Quan's emperor was there. Yan is getting scarier and even scared. Ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha. Heaven helps me too. It is heaven to help me too. Fang Han laughed. I can't think of it, but here can change the time. Here is 360 years of practice, only the past year, there is no time to cultivate. I can't beat Huaishendu in 10 years, but in 3,600 years, I can do it. It has been cultivated for 3,600 years, and only 10 years outside. It is not suitable for cultivation here. You must cultivate a lot of wood aura. You don't have a lot of wood aura here. And there is nothing spiritual here. After the masters come in, they can't get out. Maybe not yet. When the life is over, he will starve to death. Yan poured a cold water down the head. Fang Han immediately looked around and violently breathed. He found that there was no vitality in this magnificent palace. Gold, wood, water, fire, earth, etc. No, it really can't cultivate magical powers, let alone any nourishing herbs, and a panacea. In addition to the weathered bones, it is a deserted palace. Looking at the way back, Fang Han unexpectedly found that Taiyuan Xiaoguang was gone. Outside the palace, there was chaos and the atmosphere was terrible. Here, it's hard to come in, but it's harder to go out. Even if the master of the longevity secret comes in, it's not easy to go out. There is nothing here, how to cultivate. In your Wang Ding, although there are some medicinal herbs, but support for 3 or 5 years not bad. Yan seems to know the meaning of Fang Han. Let me see, let me see. Fang Han muttered, looked around again, and there was an inexplicable panic about the chaos outside the palace. He never dared to be hard. Suddenly, a thought flashed through his heart. He quickly sensed the eyebrows, the deep tree of the world. Sure enough, this sapling was always absorbing the aura of the fairy world, but since entering the palace it seems to have entered an inexplicably completely closed time and space, and the aura of the fairy world has become very slow and intermittent, like a patient who is going to die. However, a ecstasy rushed into my heart. This aura of the fairy tales is not completely cut off, although it is intermittent, but it is better than nothing. The tree of the world is so amazing. It is not the time of Taiku, the ***** tree in the center of heaven and earth, to communicate the fairy world. In this place, you can communicate with the fairy world. As long as there is nourishment of the aura of the fairy world, cultivation will not be a problem. And there is no Wanmu Reiki, but there is a tree of the world. This kind of wood aura can be used to raise your own wood emperor to a few realms. Ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha. Fang Han laughed again. What's wrong? He asked strangely. The tree of the world can still draw the aura of the fairy world, and I am practicing the emperor's wooden emperor, the wood aura of the world tree, and what other aura? Fang Han excited. What? In this place, the tree of the world can also learn the aura of the fairy world. I also felt incredible. It's a lot slower, but it's enough for me to cultivate. At least I won't die. Fang Han nodded, and the master of the mysterious secrets also had to take the medicinal herbs to survive. The master of the long-lived secrets also swallowed the aura of the fairy tales. In this place, there is nothing, only starving to death, and then decaying a path. Among the 5 prison kings, there are 3,000 yuan in the infant, more than 2,000 pieces of life, and thousands of blues. But it is enough to take 3 or 5 years, not to mention, there is a witch in Wangding, it is impossible to watch her starve to death. Puff. Suddenly, Fang Han spurted a blood, and the mana tide in the body generally retreated. It turned out that the madness of the sorcerer's medicinal power had passed. He felt that the body was weak and seemed to be in the midst of a powerful life. Passing away, in his keen spirit, he felt that his life was greatly reduced. Fortunately, you have taken Jui Jindan, which has the function of increasing life expectancy. If you are a general monk, you are now aging. I also know that Fang Han has reduced the life expectancy of 100 years. Jui Jindan can increase the life expectancy of 700 years. That is to say, after you take Jindan, you can live 700 years without practicing. However, you have cultivated the Jinluo body and realized the true meaning of the earth. You can also live for 300 years. Together, you can live for 1,000 years, comparable to Jindan Master. But you can only live 900. I am calculating for Fang Han. In the 900 years, I have a life expectancy of 900. It is not bad, at least I can practice here for 900 years. But only 2 years outside I will die. Fang Han said. Here, 900 years have passed, and it has only been more than 2 years outside. In other words, when the outside person is less than 2 years, Fang Han will die. Of course, he has broken through the realm of cultivation. Then start to cultivate. You have experienced many battles these days, and the realm has improved rapidly, but the real cultivation of the righteousness requires a long time to settle in and settle into the mystery. No hurry. Fang Han sat down, rested for a while, and ran the airflow to the whole body. This said, there is no mystery in this hall, we have to explore it, and so many bones here are decaying, but there will always be something that is not decaying. I have to find out what is good. That's it, there are a lot of powerful people coming in here. Yan said, but there should be no longevity secrets, and the masters of the longevity secrets have entered the depths of the hall. In the depths of this magnificent palace, there are many closed gates, and the recordings on it are endless, showing people mystery. But obviously it is impossible to touch. Fang Han is in the entire hall, stepping on all kinds of white bones, screaming and looking for all kinds of valuable things. There are all kinds of dead people here, all the various factions, the fairy tales, all kinds of colors can be seen from some decaying clothes. Some of the clothes worn on the white bones are all spiritual instruments, and all kinds of heavenly earth treasures are made. However, the ages are deep and the big arrays are scattered, and the materials are also decaying. Fang Hanshan was in a pile of white bones and picked up a rusty long sword. It looked like a piece of scrap iron. Yan looked at it and shook his head. It's a pity. This is the best flying sword made by 1,000 years of cold iron. It belongs to the treasure, but it takes too long and decays. Oh, under these passages of time everything will be rotten, including immortals. There is no eternal life between heaven and earth. No one is immortal. Perhaps, only by finding the legendary gate of eternal life, can it last between heaven and earth. Listening to the bleak words, Fang Han's heart tightened fiercely. Even the sword cast by the millennium cold iron was decaying. He still has a lifespan of 900 years, which is too short. How long can I go in the long years? There is no eternal life between heaven and earth. Heaven and earth, the sun and the moon, will decay. Not to mention people. N-O-V-E in .c ohm. Is the Protoss not going to die? Fang Han suddenly asked. The Protoss is just too long, and life expectancy is comparable to that of a long-lived cultist. You can even compare immortals, but it is not that they will live forever. One day, the world is destroyed, and they are equally difficult to escape. Tongsho, but there are also Shoyuan in heaven and earth. It will one day collapse. After 2 years, I will not die. Will you learn these people and get stuck here? Fang Han shook his head, suddenly felt that the intention was utterly sorrowful, and his heart was in front of him, and there was no interest in what was in front of him. Even if he is here, he has cultivated to the supernatural powers of heaven and heaven. It can only add another 800 years of life, 1,700 years. After the old death, only 5 years have passed outside. There is no other strength here, but he can't cultivate another supernatural power. Without fire, he can't cultivate the Red Emperor's royal power. Without gold, he can't cultivate the White Emperor Golden Emperor. There is no water, and he can't cultivate the Black Emperor. It is impossible to enter a single state by repairing a supernatural power. It is essential to cultivate to the same place, at least 5 lines. Fang Han looked for a long time, but did not find a medicinal herb, because the people who came in were trapped here, after the medicinal medicine was taken, starved to death, thirsty. Well, what is that? Fang Han rummaged, suddenly kicked a cockroach. This cockroach bone is different from others, even white jade, and no weathering and decay, but also very hard, especially in the hoe, brilliance flashing, do not know is hidden what is it. And there is a magic weapon around this side, a small flag, embroidered with a bright red bird, a powerful flame essence, transmitted from the bird, turned out to be a treasure. Suzaku banner. The witch also came out with Fang Han, and saw this small flag, could not help but scream. This is the fire cloud fairy who should be exquisite and blessed, one of the 10 beautiful people of Shandao, her famous magic weapon. Zukwechi. When she broke into the ground, she did not know how many demons she had killed, Shira. She had already been built into a Shintong 7 golden dragons, and her name was very high. The rumor was gone 10 years ago, and she disappeared. I could not think of dying in Taiyuanxian house. Is it here 10 years ago? That is to say, after 3,600 years here. No wonder she is dead. I can't think of a female monk, but it's a blessing, but unfortunately. Fang Han exclaimed, he knows that 3,600 years have passed, and Jin Dan Master is also dead. Picking up the Suzaku flag and discovering this treasure, it has not decayed and lost its effect. Although 3,600 is long, but for a treasure, it still does not lose its effect. 10 years ago, he was the master of Jindan, and the 10 beautiful people of Shandao became a bunch of white bones. Fang Han, her supernatural seed Jindan is still not decaying. Her Jindan is still, ha 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 ha. Her Jindan is still there. He carefully looked at the brilliance in this girl, suddenly grabbed it with his paws. This gimmick bursts, a brilliance flashes, containing a strong Jindan, flying from it. This is not a medicinal herb, but a master, a seed that is condensed into a supernatural power, a life-threatening golden dan. The human body is very prone to decay, but Jindan is not so easy to decay. Jindan, gold is representative of immortality. Chapter 173, 1 day a year. Chapter 173 1 year a year. Hey, your shot is too rough, but unfortunately. Red bones. Fang Han exclaimed. However, Yan just gave him a blank look, and did not listen to his embarrassment, carefully observe this golden Dan. 3,600 years, Shintong Si Jindan, is still bright, floating in the air, dripping and spinning, the potential of a mountain is oppressed, Fang Han body is slamming backwards, a spirit there was a crack in the clothes, and the potential of this golden Dan was oppressed to have a suffocating taste. The body suffocated and it was hard to calm down. In Huang Quan's picture, there are still a few ceremonial vestments, which are plundered by the desperate island lord. One piece is broken, and another one is, although a piece of spiritual clothes is also very precious. There are many herbs that can be exchanged in the city of Hai, but at this time, it is not so much. This golden Dan is really powerful. I am afraid that Zhao Xuanyi and Song Wei's Jin Dan are not as strong as this one. Fang Han felt the potential of this Jindan stock, unbelievable. He tried the power of Jin Dan, the two masters of Tai. He almost broke his bones and smashed his body. Zhao Xuanyi, Song Wei is a disciple of Taiyuan. The Tao of Taiyuan is the best in the world. This Jindan of the Fire Cloud Fairy cannot be as powerful as one. The witch took a few steps back to stand firm. Hey, the Fire Cloud Fairy is a man of exquisite blessings. Who created the exquisite blessed land? Linglong Shanzun. Once a master of Taiyuan, it has been rebellious, so some of the Taoist techniques, except the top secret classic, Taiku the Curse, the people who are exquisite and blessed will be. Hey, this Jindan, I feel it, there are a total of 28 kinds of magical powers. Dragon Tiger Fengyan asterisk, Changchun asterisk, Praying for asterisk, Numerology, so powerful, Black Day Wind Disaster, Big Day Fire, such a powerful supernatural power, are all contained, but unfortunately the end of the natural disaster is not in it. Also, 3 disasters 9 the end of the day, the natural disaster, is extremely difficult to refine, but it is a supernatural power. Once it is refining, it will be displayed, the world will be sad, the sun and the moon will cry, and the natural disaster will come. Careful analysis of Jin Dan, Yan, a while to admire, shaking his head for a while. Fang Han listened carefully to the praise of Yan, but he heard a lot of words. This magical seed is a big golden Dan, can you refine it? He asked. This golden Dan is so powerful, if it can be refining itself, the power is not too great. You haven't cultivated into the heavens and humans, and you can't comprehend the mystery of the big battle. It is impossible to refine this supernatural seed Jindan. Yan shook his head. That said, after I realize the mystery of the gods, refining this golden Dan, can you become a master of Jindan in one fell swoop? Fang Han's tone is full of excitement. No, it's just a fake Jindan. This Jindan is someone else's. Others have a physical and mental blood, and the spiritual brand of bitterness is here. If you refine and become your own Jindan, you don't want to enter the longevity for the rest of your life. The secret environment. The practice of Jindan is a process of spiritual baptism and life transformation. Without this process, life is incomplete. Of course, if you refine and refine, the strength will increase greatly. However, the body will not change or increase. Life, only your own essence. Gas, God, Law, Hey, condensed a group, condense the seeds of supernatural life, in the height of the transformation, the body will change, and thus the life is increased. Yan said bitterly, it seems that I am afraid that Fang Han will go on the evil road. Fang Han suddenly realized, it turns out that, if I refine this Jindan, I can have the power of Jindan Master, but I lose the possibility of forever progressing, and will not increase my life. It is equivalent to a powerful magic weapon. This is a stupid thing to kill the eggs, but that's not the case. Of course it is useful. You can get this golden dragon. You can get 28 kinds of magical rituals. And after you have cultivated into the heavens and humans, you and I will work together to slowly break down this golden Dan with Wangquan holy water. The cost of restoration is suffocating, and then you take these suffocating cultivators and become your own magical powers. Finally, the 5 emperors are the core of the demon, and other supernatural powers are used as auxiliary to train a seed that is stronger than this golden Dan. This is the best way to steal the power of golden Dan. Yan is an old antique that has been for thousands of years and points out a clear road. Fang Han eyes brighten. Yeah, so I have built 28 kinds of magical powers. Don't be too powerful. The more magical powers, the stronger the golden dragon that will condense in the future. The more a person is cultivating, the more undoubtedly it is. However, people's life expectancy is limited. For every kind of magical power, it takes a lot of time to practice. For example, the wooden emperor of Fang Hanlian, step by step, down to 30 or 50 years, and more than one can be trained. No vel bjn.c ohm. He was able to practice so quickly, or relying on the two treasures of the Tianmu God and Tree of the World, you can meet the baby you can't ask. In the future, if you want to refine the fire and absorb the essence of the flame, you have to find such a baby to shorten the time. Otherwise, each magical power must be practiced for 30 or 50 years, a scorpion. Shintong has not practiced yet, and he is old. The general master of the magical powers, lifespan of 200 or 300 years, there is no hope to practice to Jindan. Because of this, the longevity of the drug is the treasure of heaven and earth. Nothing is important for life. If Fang Han cultivated into the heavens and humans, he would break down this golden Dan, and enlighten the 28 kinds of magical powers inside, and then concise them one by one according to the method. Because there is a ready-made suffocation in Jindan, it is just a matter of course. Among the 28 kinds of supernatural powers, there are also the Black Day Wind Disaster, and Big Day Fire. In the future, it will be owned by Fang Han. This time I was forced to enter Taiyuan Shanfu, as long as I can go out. I must revenge and hate. 2-1 door, Huaishandu, I will not let you go. Watching, Yan, put this Jindan into the picture of Huang Quan, Fang Han also put the Suzaku banner in the bag. This Suzaku banner contains an extremely strong flame essence, which will be cultivated in the future, and can be used when refining the Red Emperor. Otherwise, there is no flame in the hall, and there is no place to refine it. The Suzaku banner is much more powerful than the Tianmu God needle. It is used to practice the Fire Emperor, and it will definitely do more with less. Significant time savings. After getting such a big adventure, Fang Han did not stop and continued to search in some corpses. This time, he did not search for any treasures, nor did he search for Jindan, a master of Jindan. Maybe there is a master of Jindan, who came forward hundreds of years ago and was trapped here. But hundreds of years ago, it was tens of thousands of years, even 100,000 years, the masters of the longevity secrets are old, the immortal Jindan is also changed, and the treasures have become fly ash. Time is the best melting pot, which can refine all matter and decay everything. There is no eternal life between heaven and earth. After looking for a long time, I turned over the corpses in the field, and there was no gain. Fang Han was quietly sitting down, adjusting the mana in the body and taking the fairy tales of the world tree. He is determined to cultivate. Regardless of whether you can't get out of it in the future, you can practice first and then say that the stronger you cultivate, the greater the grasp of going out. Since there is food and drink, it will be safe. Fang Han's mentality is very good. Right, hey, you have put more than 100,000 demon in the 5 prisons, all of them into a big blue Dan. Fang Han suddenly said before the interest rate adjustment. What? I can't figure it out. I have the aura of the fairy world, but she doesn't. Fang Han pointed to the witch. In case I have been practicing here for decades, she hasn't eaten or drunk, isn't she starved? Big Ashura cannot eat for months. But if you don't eat for a few years, you're sure to finish. Besides, she also has to cultivate. It turns out that, you think it is very thorough. I saw the witch and glanced at it. The look of the witch's face changed for a while, and the other side had a good fortune. Thank you for the sun. She has officially admitted that she is a niece of Fang Han. A ghost crying and shouting, resounding in the hall, the 5 prison kings Ding all spurred up, Huang Quan turned into a yellow cloud rolling, rushed into Wang Ding. Subsequently, a grain of blue sky and Big Dan violently sprayed out, there are more than 100,000 pieces. If someone sees such an alchemy scene, I am afraid that I will be surprised to bite my tongue. Huang Quan too cooperates with the 5 prisons Wang Ding, which actually has this effect. Wang Ding lost the power of more than 10 days of magic and calmed down. Fang Han nodded, this is completely peace of mind, close your eyes, run mana over and over again, flow to the whole body, and then step by step to blend the aura of the fairy world, capture the wood aura of the world tree, and put the wood emperor in his mind. Helium is repeatedly tempered to regulate yin and yang. He is now suffocating and has reached the peak and apex of Shintong's triple, Yuan Yu Jing. The next step is to refine the suffocating spirit, comprehend the change of yin and yang, and reach the 4-fold, yin and yang, of Shintong. This step is to be vivid and vivid, to understand the mystery. Pure medicinal herbs are piled up, and the accumulation of vitality has no use. What is necessary is to determine the strength, savvy, chance, experience, etc. Fang Han is sitting still like this, inside and outside is clear, mutual seeing, ignorant of the passage of time. In a few months, it's like this. After running for 3 months, he became more and more agile and more honest. However, it is always impossible to comprehend the change of yin and yang, let the suffocating sudden agility, give birth to wisdom, and do whatever it pleases. Fang Han felt that the window on the first floor could not be opened. However, he was not in a hurry. When he was in a state of turmoil, he stopped working. He stood up and walked around the hall to observe the magnificent Taiyuan Shanfu. Some closed stone gates in the depths of Taiyuan Shanfu, he did not dare to be hard, but in the fairy house, some carvings, textures, pictures, the style of the whole building, he saw a lot in his spare time, gradually in his heart comprehends something. Taiku Longevity Secret Master, the cave house, means, style of the immortal. These things also let him grow a lot of insight, open mind, admiration, and arise spontaneously. Watching the passage of time, comprehending the changing times. Observing the bones and bones, comprehending the impermanence of life and death. Look at the grand palace and understand the immortal means. Time has passed another year. Although Fang Han still did not understand the 4 yin and yang, but he took the Qing Emperor Muhuangong from beginning to end and combed it again. Although it has been a year in the hall, Fang Han knows that it is only 1 day outside. Chapter 174, Odd. Chapter 174 Wonders. The days are really lonely. On the day of Fang Han, I also used the Woang suffocating to run for a week. I felt that all the impurities in the body were refining, and the Taoist temperament was incomparably pure. There was a kind of spirituality that seemed to move, just like the early spring still crouched. The insects in the soil can be drilled out of the ground as soon as the thrilling spring thunder rings. He knows that if you want to really move up, you will understand the yin and yang, and you will need a sudden epiphany when you reach the 4th, yin and yang, of Shentong. It's like a thunder of thrills. When the spring thunder rang, everything was germinated. Life will live. What is lacking is the sudden shock. Hey, how long has the time been? Holding a lazy waist and standing up, he asked about the time. We have come in for a year and 3 months. These days, in addition to cultivation, you still practice. I must have some experience. Mana is going forward. He smiled, but still did not break through the yin and yang, comprehend the magical, for it is a pity that I am born with a dragon, and the wisdom that is gradually produced in the long years is a natural power. There is no way to explain your experience. In this hall, you can't ask others. If you are in the door, you can ask Indigo, or the sects of the elders. It's going to be faster, but unfortunately, it's a pity. There is nothing unfortunate. The first person to cultivate the Tao did not ask others, but he comprehended the yin and yang of the heavens and the earth and realized the enlightenment. Can I not? The wisdom of everyone has no distinction between high and low, but is blinded by all kinds of mourning. It's just now. I'm clean and free now, and it's a matter of time to get acquainted with yin and yang. Fang Hanyi, a pair of Jerju is in the grip. Sit in a year, it really makes your heart more quiet. Between the words, crouching down, it is a dragon pulse, as long as the Yellow River Holy River does not dry up, it will not die. Wangquan Sheng, Deheu, have been included in the Yellow Spring map. There is no possibility of cognac, which means that Yan, Shouyuan as long as it does not encounter any danger, it is not a problem to live for tens of thousands of years. Moreover, he does not need to eat anything, and there is nourishment of Wangquan Shangshui. Unlike ordinary supernatural masters, they should take medicinal herbs. Fang Han stood up and walked in the hall, but saw the witch sitting silently, and constantly brewing mana. She was surrounded by a large gourd, which contained Yuan Ying Dan, and continued Jin Dan, Bei Luo Da Dan, and 6 Yang Shangshui. There is food and drink, enough for her to practice, and to improve. It seems that I heard the footsteps of Fang Han, and the witch quickly opened her eyes and slowly recovered and stood up. You're welcome, you cultivate you. Fang Han quickly waved his hand. Yes, how did you cultivate? Mana has been refined recently. The sun, my mana has been repaired to the limit. It should have been to cultivate the infuriating, but in this hall, there is no heaven and earth aura, the spirit of the 5 elements can be learned, and I have no way to cultivate infuriating. Road. This way. Fang Han thought for a moment, then you will cultivate my Qingdi Muhuangong. I have the tree of the world, the wood is rich, give you a group to integrate into it, practice infuriating, even suffocating is not difficult. Between the words, a sapling in the body of Fang Han's body, rising, this tree of the world seems to have grown up. The leaves are flourishing, and the non-stop supplies for the cold. The tree of the world. Falling leaves are falling. Fang Hanyan was full of, Woang suffocating, and the whole tree of the world was immediately brilliance, and all the branches and temples were full of a kind of, supporting the sky. Unfortunately, if it is the world tree after the growth, this Taiyuan Shanfu will also be broken. The real growing tree of the world, the fairy world can be broken, but the strength of this seedling is too weak. To really grow in the distant future, it is impossible for 100 million years. Hey, seeing the tree of the world flew out, he shook his head. Even if this sapling fell into the hands of the master of the longevity secret, it was impossible to grow up. Look like it has become an invincible magic weapon at most. Hey, under the impact of Fang Hanqi, a leaf on the tree of the world finally fell, fluttering, and fell into the hands of the witch. The witch quickly picked it up, but as soon as the leaves fell on her hands, her face changed violently, and the whole body bones creaked. This small piece of leaves actually weighed several thousand pounds. So heavy, reluctantly running mana, only caught. This leaf is not a small thing. If it wasn't for me to refine the tree of the world, I would like to get it down. Even if the magic knife is going to kill and kill, this leaf can't be cut off. This leaf contains more wood than, they. The wooden ***** needle is 10 times richer. You refine it with your heart, and I teach you the mouth of the emperor. Fang Han's spirit moved, a mysterious mouth, the image was conveyed into the mind of the witch. Right, how long is your big Ashura's life? Fang Han suddenly asked. The big Ashura is better than the human body. Generally, I have a life of 500 years. I am 26 years old now. The witch said. At the age of 26, I cultivated into a mysterious secret. It seems that you are also a genius. Fang Han was surprised to say that he was taking the scorpion medicine of Jui Jindan, otherwise it is still mixed in the flesh. Because my blood is a close to the emperor, and among the devils is a big family. Rich in resources, so cultivation is fast. The witch said his own life. How many billions of people are there? Also like the secular, there are families, countries, and bloodlines. Distribution of forces. N-O-V-L-B in .c ohm. Then you have more than 400 years of life can be cultivated. I believe that in these 400 years, you can cultivate to the heavens and humans. Here, the longer the Shoyuan, the better. I feel that life is not enough. Fang Han shook his head, a desolation of emotions, the mana in his mind rolled over, the tree of the world shook violently, and a stream of wood surged. Okay. Suddenly, this breath conveyed the depths of the palace, above a huge closed stone gate. It seemed to be sensed by something inside, and it made a surprise. This amazement, although not big, was clearly conveyed into the ears of Fang Han, and even the witch heard it. He also looked shocked. They entered the hall for more than a year, quietly, except for the white bones, nothing. Not to mention other people. The breath of the tree of the world. Impossible, impossible. There is still the existence of this thing between heaven and earth. But, this breath. Bang, a huge thinking, conveyed from the closed stone door, spinning around, rushing everywhere, is incredibly powerful. Fang Han felt the pressure of the bursts, and even shrank back. Although this thinking has no harm, but the instinct has a kind of vast sea, which is much more powerful than Huation. This is the master of the longevity secret. Chapter 175, When You Drink. Chapter 175 is a great drink. This mysterious voice was conveyed from the most central stone door in the depths of the main hall. After entering the Taiyuan Shanfu, for more than a year, Fang Han was always looking for a way out, but he never succeeded. But all the scenery in this hall, he is already familiar with it. Deep in the main hall, there are 3 huge stone gates closed. The countless symbols are drawn above. At first glance, it is the gateway to important places. However, Fang Han certainly does not dare to be hard-headed. He only uses his own thoughts to detach himself, and he tries to feel the horror of power in every temptation. Like the sky, like the ground, like the sea, Ru Yu, as long as you are slightly offended, you will immediately touch the prohibition and die. On the 2 sides of the 3 huge main stone gates, there are many small doors that are densely packed. There are also many closed portals around the main hall. Together with 3 huge portals, plus those small portals, there are a total of 1,296. Yan said that the 3 huge stone gates represent 1 life 2 students 3 things. The rest of Shimon, representing the number of 1 yuan, also represents all things. Ancient Taiyuan Shanzun, when building this Shanfu, it has profound meaning. Fang Han's visit to the construction style of this Taiyuan Shanfu is indeed a lot of things, but these things are not enough for him to break through the fourfold, yin and yang. Which predecessor, but entered Taiyuan Shanfu, is it sealed in it? Fang Han quickly handed a hand, respectful to the voice of the Shiman language. The other party can convey the sound from Shiman. Obviously, the sound is so deep that his voice will definitely be heard. Sure enough, the voice was silent for a while, and the clear words conveyed, "Yes, I was trapped inside the door of Xuanzang." In Taiyuan Shanfu, the most wonderful, the most powerful is the three Xuanzang, the door. From the very beginning, I will know, but I can't think of the wonderful baby of the world tree. But your repair is too bad, and it is not enough to have a device. Who is the predecessor? Please also inform the name. Let the younger generation have a look. Fang Han was busy. The other party actually peeked at himself for more than a year, and now he knows it. But think about each other's magical powers, at least the long-lived secrets of the ancient giants, but there is nothing. This person does not even know Huang Quantu. It must be an old antique. It is not the same as a small one. The spirit of Fang and Fang Han exchanged. Huang Quantu is refining Wangquan Emperor in the past 6,000 years. It took 3,000 hours to succeed. It seems that the guy is even older than the history of Huang Quantu. How is that possible? 1 year in Taiyuan Shanfu, but 1 day outside. After 6,000 years outside, it has been 1,000,000 years here. Who can live for so long? Fang Han shook his head. The immortals can't live 1,000,000 years, this person can't be a fairy. It is definitely not a fairy, but the master of the long-lived mystery can change the passage of time. What's more, maybe the passage of time is only in this hall. The 3 doors of Xuanzang may be the same as the outside world. Yan guessed. My name, even if it is said to you, you may not know. You are the person of the magic door. The cultivation is the Emperor's wooden Emperor's merit. This is a superb supernatural power, but the wood Emperor has joined the world. The aura of the tree, the quality is higher, but it is rare. The voice of the mysterious figure is conveyed. November LBJNN. Fang Han knows that the other party is not willing to say, but he does not ask. The predecessor said that it is, but the younger generation is not the magic door, but the immortal Chinese, the feather's disciple. Do not know the predecessors heard of the feather door. Feathering door. Yes, there is this martial art. But too much is a big one. Is it too much outside now? The mysterious man thought about it before he spoke. It's too one of a kind, and the power is getting bigger and bigger. Fang Han said that Tai wanted to use merits to fix the catastrophe. At the same time, he said that he would take the 10 commandments, the 7 ways, and the 5 forces. The distribution said something. Hey, let's take advantage of merits to set the day. This is really to be yourself in the sky. I really don't know how to live and die. This mysterious figure chilled a bit, let Fang Han heart happy. Of course, I am quite dissatisfied with this. Fang Hanshan said this mysterious person, I was also framed by too much one, and I will enter this Taiyuan Shanfu. Unfortunately, the mysterious character suddenly sighed. I don't know what the predecessors regret. Fang Han did not understand why this mysterious man suddenly sighed. I am sighing you, in the hall of Taiyuan Shanfu, it is so sleepy. You don't see you get someone else's Jin Dan, excited. I think I can achieve 28 kinds of great supernatural powers. But I saw it with my own eyes. The owner of Jindan, the fire cloud fairy Shoyuan used up in a year, and finally died in despair. Unfortunately, you have the seedlings of the world tree, the future achievements are limitless, and you die here, in your life. Time, pain, despair, horror, will flood into your heart like a tide. The mysterious man talked about 2 sentences and described a despair. You still have 900 years of life, it seems to be very long, but it is a moment. Can't you really go out here? Fang Han calmly said. If I can go out, I will go out early, and still get the present. The tone of the mysterious character is somewhat helpless. Taiyuan Shanzun is a few outstanding figures in ancient times, and the essence of this fairy capital. It is a fairy. Even if I have the ability to go all out, I can't get out of the door of Xuanzang. If I am in the hall, I can go out. But your cultivation is too weak. The essence of this Shanfu is the fairy. Why is there no one to ***** it? Fang Han shocked. According to the truth, a fairy is born, will certainly be robbed by countless people, this fairy is more powerful, cannot resist the crazy monk. Of course someone is robbing, but they are all trapped in it. Forget it, since I can't go out, then I still practice. Fang Han sat down again and down, calmly running mana. The mysterious character who just appeared, his life is just an episode, the most important thing in his life is cultivation. Oh, seeing Fang Han calmly, the mysterious characters also felt awkward. You have made great achievements in the cultivation of the Wood Emperor, but because you are progressing very fast and lacking a kind of arrogance, there is a great hindrance to comprehend the yin and yang of the gods, and your former physical condition is promoted by the medicinal herbs. Comprehension of vitality, anyway, idle and boring, I will help you, let you comprehend the way of yin and yang, otherwise you have to rely on your own comprehension, at least 3 more than 3. This is also a drawback that you have been progressing too fast. Maybe you have my way out of trouble. A powerful mind, from the Xuanxuan's gate, burst into the cold, without any signs. Yan feels the most profound. When the powerful thinking is flying, it almost blocks with instinct, but it is too late to stop. Fight. Fang Han is practicing, and suddenly he feels that the horrible incredible thought envelopes himself and enters his mind. This powerful thinking is a sword. The shape is a very old-fashioned one. It seems to be able to break through the chaos of the sword of the road, and fly into his mind, making a stroke. Suddenly, a concise mana and spirit in his mind, as well as a sea of suffocating, were instantly turned into 2 halves. It seems that his body was split into 2 halves, but Fang Han did not have the slightest pain. Suddenly he seemed to understand what he was. Dividing yin and yang is not a simple matter. You must be strong enough to break through your spirits, but your spirit is already sharp enough, but it will not be killed. I ask you, the sharp edge is in the hand, why not slaughter people? When the sword is divided, the voice of the other party is also conveyed. The sharp edge is in the hand. Why not kill people? Fang Han listened to the other party's torture, like a lightning bolt, scratching the hearts of all kinds of confusion. Then, in his mind, there was also a sharp sword, and he made a stroke to himself. The way of yin and yang, divided into 2. With his own sudden comprehension, Fang Han has fully motivated his own wooden emperor, and his body is green and bright, but a kind of green is emerald green and green. And a kind of green is light yellow, like a sprout. The original Muhuang size, divided into 2, one shows an extremely strong masculine, while one shows a feminine beauty, such as the willow branches in the spring breeze, graceful. Both yin and yang are suffocating. The mysterious figure forced the mind to be a sword, smashing his mind and dividing the spirit. This kind of means is equivalent to being a good drink. For Fang Han to break the side door, see the positive results. Of course, Fang Han is also a person of savvy. With this, drinking ahead and drinking, he got an understanding, and immediately realized that the yin and anode changed, and the 2 Qi Wei Wei gradually turned their own suffocating yin and yang. The unique attributes, and the yin and yang entanglement, gradually brewed a hint of spirituality and wisdom. Muhuang is constantly running. A month passed. 3 months passed. 7 months passed. A year has passed. After more than a year of fullness, Fang Han was so static, and he realized the mystery. The tree of the world provided him with vitality, which made his mana increase again. Gradually, the 2 yin and yang of the yin and yang, suddenly condensed again, undergoing transformation, actually formed a model of a man and a woman, the man wearing a blue wooden gown, wearing a Kowloon crown, the woman wearing a bud yellow cloak, wearing a phoenix crown, but cannot see the face. Only the real majesty is revealed. The form of these 2 men and women condensed, and the mana of Fang Han suddenly grew. Like that, taking the madness and reducing life, it climbed up and rolled around. There was a rush of horses in the air. The original 50,000 horses rushed to the strength of 100,000. Stepping into the yin and yang, the mana of Fang Han has doubled, and hundreds of thousands of horses are rushing. Well, the spirit of the Qing Emperor, the spirit of the Wooden Emperor. The way of yin and yang has become. Chapter 176, Cat and Mouse. Chapter 176, Cats and Rats. It's really hard work for 30 years. It's not as good as the Ming teacher. I actually entered the Shintong 4 yin and yang environment after a year of enlightenment. If it is not the guidance of the predecessors, I don't know what year and month to be able to understand yin and yang. Thank you, seniors. Fang Han stood up, his hands moved slightly, and a suffocating shot from his fingers condensed into a lion. The lion and the lion of the Tians were exactly the same. However, the lion of Tians is milky white, while the square of the cold is cyan, and the suffocation is different. This is the Tianxi Shintong that Mu Wanggong simulated. But the only thing that is the same is that this cyan lion is alive and well, full of emptiness, hair blasting, occasionally a slight squeak, and the beast is shocked. It is really a spiritual lion. Wisdom is no different from ordinary lions. Change, change, change. Fang Hanlian drank 3 times. This blue-eyed lion turned into a roll and turned into a black water king-like snake. He screamed, spit the blue letter, and screamed, looking for someone to swallow. This is the phenomenon of spirituality that has been cultivated in the yin and yang of the 4-powered magical power. The suffocating mana at this time is superb. The same mana of the power of a strong horse can defeat the monks of 3 or 5 horses. This is the highest level of radon quality. The force of 100,000 horses is not bad. I can't think of it until I practice the 4th power. There is such a high mana. The general power is 4-fold, comprehend yin and yang, and the mana is between 5 or 6,000. What have you taken? A panacea? The voice of the mysterious man was conveyed again. 5-fold supernatural powers, the heavens and the human world, can only have the power of tens of thousands of horses, 4 yin and yang, usually 5 or 6,000. The triple ambiguity is 1 to 3,000. The double true atmosphere is 300 to 800. The first weight is 80 horses to 2 or 300. Fang Han is now having a force of 100,000 horses. It is really an odd number. Even the mysterious person has to be surprised. The power of 100,000 horses is close to the mana of King Dan. However, there is far no quality of Jin Dan Master mana. The mana quality of Jin Dan Master is too high. With 10,000 horsepower, you can beat Fang Han's 100,000 horsepower. After all, there are 3 realms that cannot be climbed. The younger generation once took the French Street. Riley, Fang Han did not conceal. I also use the technique of transplanting flowers to pick up all the mana of a black king snake. French Street. Riley, this kind of medicinal medicine is very different. It needs the source of Jindan Master to be able to refine it successfully. Your adventure is not small. As for the technique of transplanting flowers and trees, it is necessary to take risks. Are you so anxious to seek success? Revenge. The mysterious man guessed very accurately. Yes, because I have had a 10-year contract with a person, and that person is now a master of supernatural powers. In 10 years, I am flying and can't beat him. Fang Han took Hua Tiandu and his own. The resentment was repeated once again, and Huatian was given the Tao of the Emperor of Panwu. The thing that possessed the Taoist device was also said. In the middle of the hall, it was also boring. Both of them are trapped and can be said to be connected to the same life. Oh, it's getting more and more interesting. When you haven't cultivated into the mysterious mystery, you dare to challenge such a character. Panwu Shanzun, that is also a powerful, although not able to become a fairy, but the mana is strong. Wanian I was also one of the best figures in the world of Zan Huang. I was imagining how tyrannical people were. The mysterious man laughed, but he felt that Fang Han was really courageous. Thank you for your appreciation. Well, your Shouyuankai district is 900 years old, 1 year and 1 year less, but I just helped you. I have saved you for at least 100 years of hard work. You have been progressing too fast. At the crucial time, it takes a lot of effort to comprehend. It is too late to get in. I must pay attention to this in the future. I hope that you can practice cultivation to heaven and earth, and you can increase your life by 800 years. Accompany me to talk. Don't die soon. The mysterious man seems to feel tired. Well, you cultivate yourself. What can be done to meet the difficulties? You can ask me. Good guy, there is such a person, no less than Yu Huaman teaches Shanzun to teach you personally. He patted his paws. It seems that our hope of getting out of trouble is also on this person. I just practiced yin and yang. I need to warm up for a long time before I can cultivate to the apex, but fortunately, summertime. Fang Han nodded. According to the truth, the breakthrough of the realm, repair is an inch of water. The yin and yang environment must be a big success. It must not be long-term meticulously refined. Just after Fang Han was forced into the Taiyuan Shanfu, Yu Huaman also set off an uproar. Yu Ha Tian Gong, the Tiantai. Elders of heavenly sentences, elders of heaven, elders of heaven, elders of evangelism, elders of heaven, elders of Tianhe, etc., and the great elders of the sects, the big giants gathered together. These elders are masters of supernatural powers, and the Taoism is boundless, and the magical powers are vast. Among them, the elders of heavenly punishment have already entered the longevity secret. Master the penalty and kill the power. This power is enough to stir up the world. Feathering the door is not only between the heavens and the earth, one of the top 10 fairy tales, the strength is terrible. Fang Qingshe, Hua Tiandu and other true disciples are now in the Temple of Heavenly Penalty, facing these elders and telling the story. The two attacked each other. The elders of heavenly punishment, Hua Tian are forced to die, so that I lost a genius and genius is rare. Hua Tiandu is the head of my true disciple. I should love my brothers, but he does not. But rely on the magical powers to oppress the good, suppress the genius, no brothers respect. Please elders fall. The sound of Fang Qingshe is cold. Hua Tiandu, what can you argue with? Fang Han, this is indeed a gratifying achievement, actually able to kill the 7 leaves monster, won the magic knife blood, and in one fell swoop with the 5 prisons, ding ding, take one of the 6 major real people, this move is a great advantage for our door. Elders, the face is colder than Fang Qingshe, watching Huaishan do. The great elders around them exchange their eyes. They also feel happy about what Fang Han has done. The power of Taiyaman is too strong. In recent years, the more arrogant and arrogant, there is a tendency to dominate the immortal. These elders are not good enough to suppress them, but Fang Xiao, a small disciple, is the most suitable. Moreover, Fang Han got 2 magic weapons, which are powerful magic treasures. If they are included in the Feather Gate, they will add a lot of strength. It's really painful to have a brain in the air. I don't want to argue with Fang Shimei, but Fang Shimei said that Fang Hanhao is good. I would let a person come out and argue with Fang Shimei. Hua Tian was not moving, his hand waved, and the wind rolled up and put several people. Coming in from the outside, it is actually Fang Qingwei, Xiao Shi, Yi Nanshan, the original Zhengkong 4 and Fang Han have inner and disciples of life and death. Fang Qingwei, you said, is Fang Han a good person or a bad person? Qing Shui Shimei is your sister, presumably you will not tell lies, this time you have also gone overseas, how is Fang Han evil, you say it. Tiandu means awesome, actually lifted Fang Qingwei out, and Fang Qingshe argued, this move, no one said anything. Fang Han this son, the devil is deep, the cultivation of magic power, cannot be lawless, and killing everywhere, and the big devil head is no different. Sister, you must not be fooled by Fang Han, or else in his original identity, only however, it is a slave to raise a horse in our family. Why is it that the cultivation will progress so fast? It must be the elder of the Devil's Gate, and he is taught to him. Fang Qingwei looked at her sister a little, but hesitated, but looked at Huaishan, and the courage grew stronger and the voice of speech grew louder and louder. No vel b in c om. Do you talk to me like this? Fang Qingshe looked cold. Sister, this is not my fabrication, Xiao Shi. Today you are fortunate enough to see so many elders, you talk about your disappointment. Fang Qingwei is more plausible. Pu Tong, Xiao Shi slammed down and burst into tears. Elders, you must be the master of me, Fang Han wolf ambition, kill my father, this time, my mother who is practicing in exquisite blessings still do not know. If she knows, she doesn't know what it will be like. Fang Han is deliberately provoking the relationship between Yuhuaman and Linglong Fudi. Not the island owner, Xiao is not the father of Xiao Shi, was killed by Fang Han. This hatred naturally does not share the sky. This matter, the elders of the sentence also deplored the loss of the talent of Fang Han, but what Tiandu means high-minded, he does not speak, let several juniors speak, especially one of them, are Fang Qingshui's sister. This is hard to say. In any case, Hua Tian has occupied a rational word, plus his special status. Mana is strong, and it is not easy to blame. Tenal punishment, it seems that this matter, you are very difficult to decide. At this moment, a thick voice conveyed in, and many great elders heard this voice, and immediately turned wild. Hua Tiandu also changed his face slightly. The elders of the first sentence stood up and handed over, teach the Supreme, are you closed? Teach the Supreme, many great elders also stood up. The person who came is actually the teacher of Yuhuaman, mastering the first person of Yuhuafeishengjing, the ancient giant, the Immortal. As the sound comes in, it is a group of light, a group of clear light, not a person, the voice is issued in the clear light, God punishment, since you cannot decide, let me come. This group of clear light is obviously the shape of the fairy goddess. Of course, please teach and decide. Many elders, all of them asked. Fang Han is my true disciple of Yuhuaman. Since there is a killing of the Demon King, I have taken the merits of one of the 6 real people. It is said that it is a genius. However, such a disciple, it is a pity that I lost the door. I am sure he will not. I died in Taiyuan Shanfu. So I have to go to the rescue. Every true disciple of Yuhuaman is our child. We must know how to love it. Do you know every day? The voice of the teacher taught it. Every day understands. But, Watian is busy. There is nothing but you will be the teacher in the future. The first one is to protect the interests of this disciple. The teacher said to the Supreme, through my method. The inner disciple Shaoxi, ousted me Yuhuaman, Feng Qingwei, misbehaving, swearing for a cat for a year, Yi Nanshan, the original Zhengkong, attacking the true disciple, the big rebellion, swearing for the mouse for 3 years. Between the words, the group of clear light, suddenly shot 3 brilliants, illuminating the body of Feng Qingwei, Yi Nanshan, the original sword empty. All 3 people made a painful cry, and then Feng Qingwei's entire body, gradually shrinking, turned into a fat cat. And Yi Nanshan, the original Zhengkong, actually turned into 2 gray big mice. Teaching, you, refining to such a realm. Actually able to change the physical form, free to convert. To the point of stone into gold, water to oil. The elders of the sentence were fierce. Unbelievable. Feng Qingwei became a cat, and that was the real form of change, becoming a cat. The original Zhengkong, Yi Nanshan became a mouse, not a blind eye, but the real physical structure of the body changed, and the change of life and life became a beast. Now they are real animals. Chapter 177, The Wind of Benevolence. Chapter 177 The Wind of the Benevolent. Teaching, Feng Qingwei is my sister after all, and it is really shocking to be a cat. Please also teach the Supreme to be decent. Feng Qingxie is a man of incompetence, but after seeing several inner disciples become cats and mice, I still feel thrilled. There is a sense of awe in the eunuch. Even Hua Tiandu's gaze was straightforward. Looking at a cat and 2 mice, he couldn't believe that the 3 animals were still alive before a moment, and the door of the door was hopeful. Master of magical mystery. It doesn't matter, it's also a temper for them. Yuhuaman taught the Supreme to speak, and a group of clear light could not flow. As long as they can live with the loneliness of animals and temper their minds, it is not difficult to step into the mysterious world. It is not difficult for me to tell them. I will not blame them in the future. Otherwise, it will not be 1 year and 3 years. But life is a beast. Teaching the Supreme, you just said that you want to rescue the Fanghen, but the Taiyuan Shanfu is very dangerous. It has never been known how many masters are trapped in the dead. 10 years ago, the outstanding disciple of Linglong Fudi, Huiyan Fairy entered it. Out, Linglong Shanzun thought of all the ways, and did not rescue her, but several times encountered danger. The elders of Liang suddenly spoke and respectfully said that he was the father of Jin Shite, and the other side could not see the cold. The Fire Cloud Fairy is a 7-powered supernatural power, a master of Jin Dan's realm, a pillar of the martial arts disciples, and the quality of Jin Dan is extremely high. It has been built into 28 kinds of magical powers. Is this achievement not as important as a square cold? Why do the feathering gates suffer unnecessary losses for a cold? This truth is justified, and now a large part of the elders agree. Renyangzi, you don't have to say much. The teacher opened his mouth. On that day, you asked me to ask for a yin and yang shuden for your son. Is it not satisfied? Your son is useless and took my hard work. A few of the refinery of the heavenly medicinal herbs, repaired to actually slosh in the real atmosphere, it is really the goods do not live up to expectations, you have no glory on the face of your father. I wasted a mystery. If this Dan medicine gave Feng Qingxie, and she has already matured into Jindan. Yes is. Liang's elder Kim Ili quickly bowed his head and retired, no longer speaking. He can succumb to the elders of the sentence, but there is no way to face the teaching. If you go against it, you can turn him into a mouse. His supernatural powers have only been cultivated to the 5 natural worlds, and they are able to refine the spirits. They compete with the masters of the long-lived secrets. And the door of the feather door, the master of the teaching of the elders have the power to kill. The elders of the day sentence must deal with him, and they have to send many elders to the sect to be able to use the sentence, but they do not need to teach. This kind of fairy sect is extremely strict. Hey teacher brother, although Liangzi has selfishness, but it is not completely unreasonable. Taiyuan Shanfu is indeed dangerous and a dead place. The supernatural power of Linglong Shanzun is also considered to be vast, but the Fire Cloud Fairy is still not rescued. The elders of Tiangong spoke. The elders of Tiangong are old-fashioned and have a very high position among the martial art, which is equivalent to the punishment of heaven. After a long silence, I suddenly said, I naturally have my reason. I can understand it clearly. Qingxie, did you get the supreme treasure of Huang Quanman, the symbol of Huang Quan's emperor? Huang Quan. Yellow Spring Map. This thing is not the same thing. It is rumored that Wangquan the Great, the ancient troll, has been refining for 3,000 years. He has integrated a Wangquan holy river and water for forgetting. This is a success. Huangquan's great ambition is to borrow this material and establish a round of rewards. It's the same as Taiyi's want to make a good fight with merit. Fang Qingshe Electric Mother Reincarnation, it has obtained the invincible electric instrument. The power is unparalleled. If you get Huangquan too, what will the strength be like? This person is really a deep fairy, naturally born with air. But it is the blessing of my feathering door, and it is also an opportunity for me to grow up in the future. All the elders are whispering, and the arguments are coming up. This incident has been faintly rumored, but no one can believe it, but today it has been confirmed in the mouth of the eunuch. Returning to teach, Huangquan did not fall into my hands. But, Fang Qingshe stunned, then shook his head, but thought of Fang Han. But it is possible to fall into the hands of Fang Han. The teacher whispered and laughed. With this thing, Fang Han will advance by leaps and bounds, and he will practice the Jurassic golden body, and he will have such great confidence, the challenge of 10 years. Tiandu, Fang Han's cultivation is the Jinluo body. He was already seen by the elders of the sentence and told the teacher. Like the powerful figure of Yuhuaman, there is still no guess. It should be like this. But before I saw Fang Han, I could not confirm it. Fang Qingshe replied. Heavenly work, now you understand why we are going to take risks. The teacher smiled at Tiangong elders. For Huangquan, it is indeed adventurous. This symbol is no less than a giant of a long-lived secret. If it can be used for my feathering door, it will be useful in the future. Elder Tiangong immediately understood the idea of teaching. Huangquanman, once the first major vein of the magic road, is now full of glory, but many powerful people have seclusion. With this symbol, they can make them come out. This is enough for us to use. And in the Wangquan map for getting the water, it is the first holy water, and the role of alchemy is very great. With him, we can capture the demon, refine the medicinal herbs, and collect disciples, and cultivate them. After 5 years, 10 years, the true disciple of the mysterious secrets it can be doubled, so it is more sure to counter the one door. Yes, now our feather door is not enough, more than 400,000 inside and outside disciples. If there are enough medicinal herbs, then I don't know how many mysterious disciples will emerge. And, in the picture of Huangquan, it seems that there are all kinds of magical powers of Wangquanman, especially the 5 emperors and great devils. It is the ultimate in the 5 elements. It is easy to cultivate and it is easy to condense Jindan. The emperor is a bit excited. Teaching, if you rescued Fang Han, I also hope that you will not force him to surrender Huangquan. After all, this is his fairy. You can't force it. Fang Qingshe hurried. Hey, I saved the door and rescued him. He has the grace to recreate him. He contributed to my martial art. What's the big deal? Hua Tian said with a cold voice, but it was a big deal. Hua Tiandu, you got the Dao Buxian Shanzun's Dao, how did you not contribute to the martial art? Why didn't the Taoist contribute to the martial art? Even, you are going to send 1,000 tablets of Jiazi Shendan to Tai, why not give me a feather disciple? Fang Qingshe seems to be a little angry. No vel b in .c om. Heavenly, don't express your opinion on this matter. The teacher suddenly said, you are too wrong to walk too close to Tai. I know what you think. But too much is what you do, so it's so troublesome. Out of the exquisite robbery, Linglong Shanzun also got a magical device in the same year. 2-1 forced her to surrender the more troublesome things. As for Fang Han, he is the true disciple of my feathering door. We are elders, their responsibility is also an obligation to save him. Which child is dangerous, parents do not desperately save. Which child earns money, the elders will be unhappy. Instead, grab the children's money. Treat the disciples with their parents' minds. This is the chest of the elders of the fairy road. As Fang Han rescued, if he is willing to contribute to my feathering door, then he will admit that he is a member of the Feather Gate, and I will naturally give him enough feedback as a key point. The object of cultivation is to shelter him from the wind and rain, and if he does not want it, he does not force it. Teach the benevolent invincible. Fang Qingshe is sincere, and at this moment, she is also full of respect for this teacher's heart. No matter what, she will not betray the feudal gate in the future. If a teacher can do this, and the disciple is still betrayed, then it is really a wolf, a god, and a god. When does the palm teach to save? Asked the elders. Of course, the sooner the better. We are here one day, the past year in Taiyuan Shanfu. But this thing cannot be anxious, lest it be taken by people. If we go out, the magic master, or the extraterrestrial demon, the demon master the offense, the consequences are worrying, must be arranged. Now let's have a meeting to see if there are any good ideas and opinions. The palm of the church has set a strategy. Yin and yang changes, the sun and the moon run. In the hall of Taiyuan Shanfu, Fang Han is constantly running with suffocation, two groups of suffocating, one yin and one yang. In his hand is 1,000 changes, around the whole body, sometimes turned into a tiger, dragon, the python, the tortoise, the crane, the lion. And so on, the image of the creature, he has cultivated to the fourth heavy, yin and yang. If you can now cultivate to the 5 heavens, you will be able to refine your spirits, reward them to the disciples outside the door, build power, sit on one side, and gang up. Back to the Feather's Gate, it is also one of the true disciples. With the power of 100,000 horses, the magic knife, the blood, the 5 prisons, and the secret hidden means, enough to be with Nanwan Luo, Dongling, West Blue, North Yaoguang leveled up. Shintong is the 4th most important, although the yin and yang environment is wonderful, but it is only an excessive. Only when you understand yin and yang, you can communicate with the people of heaven, gather all kinds of big battles, and truly enter the room, extend your life. Sacrifice all kinds of supernatural powers without encountering infuriating conflicts. Just like the physical condition of the body of the flesh is the 4th most heavy and soft. The 5th is the power of God. Only by comprehending the change of rigidness and softness can you have the power of God. In this Shanfu, I don't know the years, he will enjoy his own magical powers. Whenever he encounters difficulties in spiritual practice, he will ask the mysterious person. The mysterious man is also bored and boring. But I never said my own origins with Fang Han. In this way, the day after the day, Fang Hengsen is like water, and 10 years have passed. Chapter 178. Absorb the Protoss. Chapter 178 Absorbing Protoss. What is yin and yang? 2 students or 3, for yin and yang. What is heaven? 2 sympathy, mutual confirmation, all things condensed, the synthesis of vitality, the result of vegetation, the sun and the moon, the wind and the fire, the rotation of the clouds, the natural endless, is for the heavens. In the hall of Taiyuan Shanfu, 1 question and 1 answer corresponds. It was Fang Han and the mysterious figure who asked each other questions. Fang Han was asking, the mysterious figure was answering. The answer to each sentence is profound and profound, pointing to the key to cultivation, which leads to comprehension and spiritual transformation in the mind. The cultivation of magical powers is mainly a spiritual transformation. And cultivation asterisk, that is the change of structure. The people who cultivated the magical powers realized in 1 sentence that the mana immediately regrouped and produced new changes. If 1 sentence could not comprehend, it would never go in. And cultivation as long as hard training every day, have enough nutrition, step by step every day, or can continue to improve. This is the difference between the cultivation of magical powers and the cultivation of Fang Han cultivation. I do not know the years, the embarrassment, the past 10 years, this time is really closed door to repair, such a Shanfu, what can you do without cultivation? There is no way to travel if you want to travel. During the 10 years, Fang Han's cultivation was also leaps and bounds. Although he still did not cultivate to the heavens and humanities, but the supernatural powers were 4-fold, the yin and yang environment has been cultivated with perfection and enthusiasm. With a random movement, you can change all kinds of birds and beasts, insects, forests, waves, mountains. Mingyu songs, the springs are flowing. Change. Fang Han released his own wooden emperor, filled the whole hall, gradually changing, like a big painter, drawing a picture in a pen. First of all a bright moon, high illumination, silver plate, sprinkle the cold radiance, then a pine forest, between the pine forests, the spring water, creaking, and the fish swimming in the spring. Among them, the breeze blew, the pines undulating, whistling to each other, a beautiful picture. What? The witch saw the whole hall and became the world of bright moon, pine tree, and clear spring. I was in it. It seemed like illusion. I quickly reached into the clear spring. I felt cold and cool, and the spring water flowed through my own fingers, delicate and lingering. Suddenly her hand ailment, grabbed a fish swimming in the clear spring. The fish was scared, immediately jumped up and played, sizzling. This is true, the witch said with amazement. Fake, it's all my Taoist temperament. This is the means of comprehension after ignoring the yin and yang. Fang Han's voice conveyed in, then the moon, song Dao, spring water, lively fish are stunned, the change became a mass of airflow, and the income was in the cold. Okay, Good. If you can't think of it for 10 years, you will be able to put the magical powers into the 4 places, and the yin and yang will be cultivated to such a point. It is really rare. The mysterious man saw the illusion of Fang Han, and he could not help but admire. November LBJNN. Unfortunately, in 10 years, I have not broken through the yin and yang. If I am outside, I will not be able to reach this realm after 10 years of cultivation. It seems that my 10 years of challenging Huatian's rhetoric is indeed unreliable. Fang Han sighed. In this decade, he also thoroughly understands the Qing Emperor Mawangong, because there is a good teacher of mysterious people, answering all kinds of difficult questions for him. His cultivation is leaps and bounds, and the practice is too fast. Disadvantages, one by one to make up, the foundation is also firmly played one by one. After all, after 10 years of repairing, it is vivid, and the learned Tao is not the same. Among them, he also enlightened the big cut, one by one. As soon as he reached the heavens and humans, he immediately cultivated and the power was invincible. Although there is no improvement in the realm of mana, he has become an expert in his understanding of cultivation, laying a solid foundation for his future practice. Fang Han can be described as unique in the adventures of Taiyuan Shanfu. Because in the door of the feather, he is not likely to receive so many pointers. It's not that the elders of the Feather Gate don't point to him, but they are all very busy. They have to cultivate all kinds of magical powers, but they also need to refine the medicinal herbs, refine the magic weapon, compete with the sky, and have time to patiently point the disciples. Is it 10 years? Even if it is Hua Tiandu, it is impossible to be pointed to him by Yuhuaman. Even the devil, his son, the innate emperor, teaches him the magical powers, and he will not answer all kinds of problems for him for 10 years. Sometimes, when he cultivates and drills into the corner of the horn, he has to think hard and break the fog, which is a waste of a lot. Life in the world. Like the life of Fang Han, although there are 900 years, but a few magical exercises, collecting suffocating gas, and then refining some magic weapons, hundreds of years have passed. But now, the mysterious person is just bored and idle, and the benefits can be great. The places where Fang Han felt awkward before, all went through. There is nothing. Huatian is influenced by Panwushanzun. It is very powerful, but you have the tree of the world. Just train it, wait for it to grow up, and truly penetrate the fairy world. Even if it is the reincarnation of Panwu, it will not be your opponent. Hearing the chilly sigh and the 10th anniversary of Hua Tiandu, the mysterious man laughed. When the world tree grows, it is not enough for 100 million years. Even if it is a Protoss master, it does not have such a long life. Hey, you little dragon, you still know the Protoss. In the past 10 years, the mysterious man has talked a lot with he. I also know that this dragon is the dragon vein of the Yellow River. There is nothing. We have also captured 2 Protoss. He released the bodies of 2 Protoss. Under this circumstance, even the mysterious people's tone showed a deep horror. The Protoss reappears, and there is a big mess between heaven and earth. I can't think of it. The battle of destroying the gods thousands of years ago shocked the world, and many fairy gods were there. When the time fell, Panwu Shanzun also died in the hands of the Protoss. At that time, the Protoss was extinct. Hey, the Protoss reappears, the world is turbulent, maybe it's your chance to get out of trouble. Old antiques. He called the mysterious man to call the old antiques directly, and the other party was not angry, but instead talked about it. The mysterious man laughed again. You have a little bit of this little dragon, but unfortunately lost power. I don't know when it will be restored. But the tree of the world was cut off by the Protoss of the Protoss a long time ago, then it is completely broken, and the debris is scattered between the heavens and the earth. If you can collect the fragments one by one and integrate them into the seedlings, you may be able to quickly recover some of the magic of this tree. Less time to cultivate it. Unfortunately, the power of the gods of this Protoss is very wonderful. I can't understand the mysteries. The power of God is essentially different from any magical power. Fang Han suddenly came up with a thought, I don't know. Can the seniors know what the power of the Protoss is? You asked well, you have a Protoss body, tell me soon. You know why the ancestor of the Protoss will cut off the tree of the world? The mysterious man suddenly excited. Because of the tree of the world, it has a deadly threat to the Protoss. Any Protoss who come into contact with the tree of the world will be smashed, and no residue will be left. Because the Protoss is born between the heavens and the earth, the most mysterious source of origin. It is the same as the aura of the fairy world. It is the nutrition of the tree of the world. You can't directly absorb the power of God, but after the nourishment and transformation of the tree of the world, it can be used. Although it cannot make your mana increase, it can make you have a deeper understanding of the essence of the world. So you can quickly enter the mysterious world. The connection between heaven and people is as simple as that. Haha, it turned out to be like this. It's like people can't eat it directly, but take it to water the vegetables. When the dish grows up, you can eat it. He laughed. I have been studying how to absorb the power of God, but there is no think of it so simple. Fang Han, you give it a try. Fang Han had already realized the meaning, and quickly smashed the tree of the world of the eyebrows. The roots had to come out one by one, and the roots were rooted in the body of a Protoss. Suddenly, the body dried up and seemed to have been sucked up by all the blood. Fang Han felt that the power of God, of a stock was really absorbed by the tree of the world, and it was integrated into the body of the tree. It seemed to have been greatly supplemented. It was a leaf that was originally given to the witch. Actually, the buds were reissued. In this decade of cultivation, the witch has refining the leaf and successfully cultivated it is infuriating, but it is still some distance away from the three-way sacred atmosphere of the magical power, but the strength is great, and the power has reached 8. The strength of the 100 horses. Oh, this is the power of God. Fang Han really felt that a subtle and mysterious spirit was transmitted from the tree of the world and absorbed by his own mind. Suddenly, like a person with myopia wearing glasses, the whole world became clear. He seems to have seen the heavens and the earth, the infinite vitality is filled, and there are all kinds of powers free, some can be absorbed by the human body, some are absorbed, and the most harmful. When the power of God entered his mind, his power did not increase, but he opened a window in front of him, making the world clearer. The mountains and rivers in the world are composed of a tiny amount of vital particles. The composition between them has a mysterious law. It is something called the battle. The boundaries between heaven and man, the understanding of heaven and man, at this moment, seem to be broken. He had a new understanding of the yin and yang environment. How? Protoss is really different. Their strength can make your vision more open, and further cultivation, you have already opened half of the window. As long as you carefully ponder for a few years, step into the magical 5, heaven and man, it's not a difficult thing to do. At that time, you can increase your life expectancy and break down that golden Dan, which is also a 28 magical power. The mysterious man praised. I didn't have such good luck in your time. Chapter 179, Heavenly Border. Chapter 179, Heaven and Humanity. I am so lucky. I got a good device, but it was damaged. I got the tree of the world, but it is a piece of debris. Now I am still trapped in this Taiyuan Shanfu. I don't want to die, I don't know what. Years and months, can I go out? I don't care, but the witch is cut off from food and water, and it's already a dead end. After a few years, the end is worrying. When I heard the mysterious man say that he was lucky, Fang Han shook his head. Because he saw that the witch had already dried up, the original, Yuan Ying Dan, continued Jindan, and Blood Dan, had all been eaten, and the more than 100,000 tablets of the blue dragon were still left, but not enough. Eat for another 10 years. As for the 6 Yang holy water, there are still a few drops left. Although Fang Han has a steady stream of world trees to send the fairy aura, but the witch does not, so go on for another 10 years, 20 years, it is necessary to die and die. And in this, I don't know how long it will take, 1 armor. 2 nails, 3 or 500 years. Even old and dead here. Fang Han is not as magical as the mysterious man. He is absolutely old and dead, and like the white bones in the hall, it eventually turns into dust. I knew this early. I saved a lot of medicinal herbs and water sources in Wangquan. I was also prepared to encounter such a Jedi. If the witch really couldn't keep going, I had to give her a boost and maintain her survival. Fortunately, I came in. At that time, Hua Tian took the dragons away, or else one more person came, and it was even tighter. Fang Han thought about it, but he sat down on his knees and continued to practice enlightenment and strive to break through the heavens. Then decomposed Jin Dan and made 28 kinds of magical powers. As for the body of a Protoss, Fang Han is not prepared to absorb it. Anyway, it will not increase the strength. Wait until you have made up to 28 kinds of magical powers, and then see if you can refine this corpse into a long-lasting drug. Predecessors, I have only a few years before I can step into the heavens and the human world. Gongju, I have a little sleek and I am convinced with the sun power. The sunlight is turned on to open the sunroof. But it is still too small. Less 5 years, more than 8 years. But now that you have cultivated the Emperor's wooden emperor to the apex, and then grind it down, it is really difficult to break through. It is better to transfer other Kung Fu. For example, your Jurassic gold body can be remade. When you cultivate, you must know that is a jewel, and that cultivation of magical power depends on it. I feel that your body is a little lacking, and there is no cooperation with Muhuangong. You can try cultivation. Mysterious people have a sinister eye and often have whimsy. After all, the experience of the other side's cultivation, even the shackles cannot match, let alone the square cold. Cultivating the Jinluo body. Unfortunately, there is no land strength here. How do I cultivate? It is because of the world tree that cultivates the woods. Fang Hanyi, practicing Jinluo Jinshin, he did not think about it, but first of all, the first one is to draw the essence of the earth, the essence of the soil. The land cannot be touched here, and it is impossible to cultivate. It is no problem, you use the tree of the world to communicate slowly. Maybe you can sense the earth. If you can really sense it, then the impact of the civil air, the flesh, the mana impact, is also a good means to break through the heavens. Mystery people follow the temptation and explain thoroughly various methods of breaking through the realm, spit out from his mouth, and made the party cool. Okay, then I will listen to the test of my predecessors. The Fang Han drum swayed the flesh and blood, violently urging the whole body and the earth to trying to communicate with the heavens and call the earth. The eyes are endless, the wisdom is perfect, I am holy, clean lotus. In this hall, it is completely isolated from the outside world, but Fang Han can pass through the tree of the world, and it can faintly sense the outside world. Especially after he cultivated to the four-powered power, the yin and yang environment, the induction is more clear. Now that I have begun to cultivate the golden body, it seems that I feel a sense of the earth's vitality, but I am not being taken by myself. Catch it. Grab the earth's essence. Fang Han's spiritual will. Hungry tigers generally rob the past, went deep into the world tree, prolonged out, and secluded in a folding time and space. The tree of the world is very wonderful. The time and space of this hall is all self-proclaimed and isolated from the outside world, but the roots of the tree of the world can fold time and space and be pervasive. The spirit of Fang Han, through the folding of time and space, also infiltrated a little, as if experiencing a wonderful trip, benefited a lot. A trace of earthly spirit was found by Fang Han, grasped, and was pulled into the roots of the tree of the world, and then blessed to the body. For a time, he had a yellow crystal on his body. This is the authentic Panite essence. The tree of the world, it is wonderful. Mysterious people admire. Fang Han did not hear the words of the mysterious man, and he was fully engaged in the operation of the golden body, and he borrowed a lot of earth. The soil around the body is getting richer and thicker. Another year has passed. The earth's vitality in his body formed a crystal yellow eggshell, completely enveloping the body, and the enormous power inside turned and rolled, seemingly brewing a Hercules. Among the 5 elements, the soil is the center, the most powerful and the most powerful. Among the 5 emperors, the emperor of the yellow emperor, the emperor of the yellow emperor, the most Shenshong. Hey, Fang Han is now ready to sacrifice this magical power, the previous Jurassic golden body, just exercise the flesh, not linked to the mana. Otherwise it will explode and there will be no bones. Now Fang Han is listening to the advice of the mysterious person. When the most yin and yang are in the big, the civil and military are mixed, and the explosion breaks through the heavens. 2 years have passed. The body of Fang Han's body is golden and golden. It seems to be a golden eggshell. There is actually a mountain atmosphere. It's time. Fang Han felt that there was enough earth essence around his body to reinforce the earth. After weighing a moment, biting his teeth, he slammed into the body and collided with Mu Wang. Rumble, rumble, November LBJNN. Suddenly, in his body, there was a series of explosions, and all the bleeding in the 7 scorpions. In particular, a piece of muscle on the body seems to explode and fall, and the whole body bones are also exploding. In his mind, it is also awkward, like a firecracker. It is shocking. What happened? The witch is horrified and jumps up. In this way, everyone will think that Fang Han will explode and die. The civil and civil air collision, the danger is a bit dangerous, but he can save the danger. Mysterious people are also carefully watching Fang Han. I hope to break through this. Just between the mysterious man's speech, the explosion in Fang Han's body suddenly stopped. The whole man's head was above the Tianmen, suddenly bursting out of 2 airflows, a pure yellow, a pure cyan. Wash down and never stop. The blood of his body exploded and was washed clean. Civil and Qi, Each in their place, the emperor returned to the liver, the emperor returned to the spleen. 5 internal organs and 5 elements, the heavens and the people. The sing of a stalk broke out from his mouth, and the 2 civil wars all changed into a vortex, a flowing vortex, like a nebula. Entering his body, Mu Huang entered the liver, and the emperor's suffocation entered the spleen. The 2 vortexes are the array. It is the array of suffocation. At this moment, Fang Han broke through the boundaries of the heavens and humans and stepped into the magical 5-way, heaven and earth. From then on, you can refine the spirits, get the treasures of heaven and earth, and refine the treasures. More can be called real people. Liver is wood, spleen is soil, heart is fire, lung is gold, kidney is water. When he broke through the heavens and humans, he transformed the wooden emperor into a large array, hiding it in his own liver, and condensing the emperor's suffocation into a large array, hidden in the spleen and stomach. However, the wooden emperor of Fang Han is much deeper, and the emperor's suffocation is just condensed. The difference between the two is not to be counted. However, the large number of civil and military qi, but completely motivated the function of the liver and spleen. Suddenly, Fang Han's physical strength skyrocketed. The tidal wave of a stalk rushed out of the pores, and the shock was everywhere. The body was slightly moved in the hall, and there were phantoms everywhere. The whole person was like a flying sword and rushed out of the air. The speed is fast and incredible. This is completely the strength of the flesh. The hernia condensed into a large array, entered the flesh and combined with the flesh, which is why it will increase the life of 800 years. Heaven and Earth Master. Shintong 5-fold, different. It is also a qualitative change in the realm of magical power. However, the civil and second gas into the body, Fang Han clearly felt the 5 elements of the body lost balance, the most heavy wood gas, liver fire, spleen, and heart, lung, kidney is the second. Suzaku flag. Fang Han's mind moved, the piece of treasure left by the fire cloud fairy, Zuqueqi flew up, was washed by Fang Han with the holy water of Wangquan, and immediately the flames, the infinite flame, shot from the flag. Hey, help me, Fang Han slammed, and he also shot. The flame of this Suzaku flag changed drastically, slowly condensed, and finally turned into 2 noble emperors, women. The emperor and the woman both took the flame scepter, which is the shape of the red emperor and the fire emperor. At this moment, Fang Han became the emperor of the red emperor. The 2 emperors gradually turned into a large array of flame patterns that narrowed into the heart of the body. Bang! Fang Han feels the heart function, it is extremely powerful, and every time it beats, the steel can be shattered. Miao Wei. Originally, I have to practice the red emperor of the red emperor, collecting the flames of the heavens and the earth, at least need a bitter work of more than 1, now dissolve the Suzaku flag, get the essence of flame, save me how much to repair. Fang Han heart, secretly. Later, he took out the golden Dan, it was time to dissolve the golden Dan. Chapter 180. The millennium is repaired and stolen. Chapter 180. The millennium is repaired, and it is stolen. One side of the Suzaku flag, the essence of the flame, when the fire cloud fairy refining, I don't know how many natural treasures were wasted, and how many years of hard work, now Fang Han has stolen this hard work, which is equal to the falling pie in the sky. Get something for nothing. No vel bjn.c ohm. However, Zuqueqi is not worth the effort. The best thing to do is Jin Dan. The golden dragon of this fire cloud fairy contains 28 kinds of magical powers. Every magical power must be practiced for many years. For example, the Black Day Wind Disaster, in the extremely dangerous space to capture the devastating power of the Black Storm, according to the Taoist sacred door, hard work for nearly 100 years before it can succeed. Even if Fang Han has learned the method of cultivating the Heavenly Wind Disaster, he will also practice hard for 100 years. Now, as long as the magical power of this Black Day Wind Disaster is stripped out and refining itself, it will be successful immediately, and its power will be enormous, even worse than that of Zhao Xuanyi. The magical power of the Fire Cloud Fairy is already higher than Zhao Xuanyi. This is just a supernatural power of Black Day Wind Disaster. This supernatural power contained in Jindan, as well as Da Day Fire, Changchun Asterisk, Huzan Dao, Soul of the Earth, Blessings, etc., which is extremely difficult to practice the great magical power. Each of these supernatural powers can be successful for more than 100 years in as little as 20 or 30 years. The life of Fire Cloud Fairy has been more than 1,000 years. Almost 80% of the time, only to become this golden Dan, it can be seen that his efforts, hard work, millennium years, long and hard. Now it has fallen into the hands of Fang Han and made a wedding dress for others. Millennial hard work have been stolen. Fang Hanyi turned out Jin Dan. Suddenly in his mind, the spirit skyrocketed, his eyes shot the glaring light, shot into the golden Dan. His wood emperor suffocated, condensed into a large array, all into the liver, because the eyesight is also rising, the ability to make a heartfelt force. The stronger the liver, the brighter the eye. This is also the reason why people with bad eyes eat more animal livers. Among the viscera of Fang Han, the most powerful now is the liver. After all, the emperor is a martyr, and he has cultivated magical powers for so many years. Overwhelming everything, even the latest practice of the fire emperor, is far from good, let alone the emperor's anger. The essence of the eyes was shot and exploded on the golden Dan, but the entire Jindan did not move. Until a slap in the face, Huang Quan figured into a thick fog, wrapped in Jin Dan. This piece of the golden Dan, which contains 28 kinds of great supernatural powers, began to decompose and melt. Now Fang Hanhe is a master of heaven and earth, and Shintong is five-fold, able to unite all kinds of big battles. Although Fang Han has just entered the human beings, the 5 elements have not been fully condensed, but it does not prevent him from running a large array and helping him. It is not difficult to decompose Jin Dan, the dragon of this old traitor, the profound power of the magic, and the help of Huang Quan too. Especially the owner of this Jindan has already died. If the owner of Jin Dan is not dead, a thought, Jin Dan will explode. The masters of longevity and secrets cannot refine. But now, it is a dead thing, let Fang Han and Yi toss. Months passed, and suddenly one day, Huang Yun of Huang Quan Tu, suddenly spread out, rolling everywhere, in the yellow cloud, 28 regiments. Suddenly emerged. Every Big Bang is a powerful force. Every big squad contains a magical rule, and the master must work hard to repair the magical power that can be cultivated for 100 years. Fang Han, you still don't put your mana into it, refining. Be your own magic, growled. Good. Fang Han did not hesitate, and in his mind, he quickly flashed 28 kinds of magical cultivation methods. These days he learned Jindan, he already knows all kinds of magical powers inside, how to cultivate of. What's more, there are mysterious people's instructions. The mouth of the mouth ejected 28 airflows, all of which were pure mana. When they touched the 28 large arrays, they immediately infiltrated them and practiced them according to the law. Fang Han had a heart and soul to use it. Now, at the same time, he has cultivated 28 kinds of magical powers. Of course, it is also because the houses of 28 kinds of supernatural powers are there. Fang Han's work is to live in, but not like other people practicing magical powers, 1 brick and 1 watt to burn and build. 8 days and 8 nights, the 28 seats are like a group of stars, suddenly shrinking, jumping, turning into a pattern, into the mind of Fang Han. Bang! Around Fang Han's body, surrounded by an infinite amount of hurricane, his mana climbed again. The original force of 100,000 horses is now multiplied, just like taking the crazy magic Wanshudan. 200,000. 300,000, 500,000. In the end, the mana's skyrocketing stayed, and Fang Han felt that he had increased his mana by 5 times. 28 kinds of magical powers, all entered their own minds. Even on him, the original 3-headed lion tattoos were completely opened up, condensed into one, and became the magical power of Tian's asterisk, and entered the mind together. However, he did not put 28 kinds of magical powers into his internal organs. Because of his cultivation, it is mainly the 5 emperors, and later condensed Jin Dan, and also the 5 emperors. When he condenses Jin Dan, then there are more than 28 kinds of magical powers, but 30 kinds. 50 kinds. Even more. At that time, the golden dragon that condensed, the greater the power. The more the magic weapon is contained, the greater the power of Jindan, which is an inevitable phenomenon. Oh, the cultivation of the human world, the general master, the power of the horse, and you have a full 500,000 horsepower, 50 times higher than those characters, it seems that you are indeed the pride of the sky. As long as there is a big fairy, as long as you can go out, there is some hope in the longevity secret. The mysterious man shouted, it is impossible for ordinary people to cultivate into a long-lived secret. Even if you get an adventure, you can't do it. Even if Fang Han has got so many adventures now, there is only a little hope. To be a giant, is it so easy? Great perseverance, great wisdom, great luck, Dafulu, are indispensable. We have been here for 15 years now, and it is about 15 days outside. In 15 years, we have reached the heaven and the human world, and the progress is indeed fast. I saw Fang Han Shentong Dachang, and 31 magical powers. It's almost as good as him, and I can't help but sigh. Mu Huang, Tu Huang, Hua Huang, 3 magical powers, plus 28 kinds of supernatural powers on Jindan. Originally, Tian's was also a kind of supernatural power. However, Jin Dan had already included Tian's asterisk, and Fang Han had melted into the chanting, burning, and Sha Yu's 3 heads. These 3-headed lions look strong in others, but they are a lot worse than the lions on the day of Jin Dan. After all, Huiyan Fairy is a master of Jindan. Is it a 3-to-1 small disciple? When I complete the 5 emperors, I will complete the refining and cutting. There are 34 magical powers. Among the disciples of the feathers, I am afraid that no one except my Huatian is my opponent. Fang Han shouted, arrogant. There is still Fang Qingshe. He reminded him. Is there any way to go out? Fang Han asked mysterious person. No, the mysterious man replied very simply. You have cultivated into the longevity secret, maybe you can try it. But now, it is far from perfect. The mana is 10 times higher, and the force of 5 million horses is useless. Of course, this dragon has recovered its strength, but it can go out. There is no way for this. Fang Han sat on the ground. Just at this time, outside the Taiyuan Shanfu, suddenly the thunder flashed. Among a thundercloud, the woman who landed in a white fluttering was Fang Qingshe. There are also a few feather disciples, but it is indigo. Long Hao, wait for a few female true disciples. When these disciples fell down and stood up, they said, congratulations to teach you the Supreme. A group of clear light appeared on their heads. Teaching the Supreme, Fang Han brother was trapped for 16 days, in the funeral house, it is 16 years. I don't know if it will be alive. You know, even if you are, you can't eat or drink. Years. Long Hao is anxious.